So I'll begin. Hi, I'm Akshat. I am the technical product manager for Quill Shield, and it's our latest flagship product. So before we get into the product, let me tell you something about Quill audits. So we are a smart contract auditing agency. We perform layer 1 blockchain audits and smart contract audits for your DeFi projects and other things. So this is our latest flagship product. It brings the same experience that we provide in our manual audits to a platform that's powered by AI. Now, let me walk you through the product ecosystem. This is going to be a little different because I don't have a pitch deck ready. I'll be walking you guys through what we provide as part of our security ecosystem. So the first thing that we have here is an AI-powered smart contract auditor. We have our own AI that's been trained on vulnerable set of contracts. So without boring you much, I'll get to the product demonstration quickly. So if you can see the dashboard, I'm not sure why that's not showing up here. Is that another technical glitch? Hey, can you hear me? Dude, I need your help again. Okay, I see. It seems like it's a bit slow. So you guys will have to bear with it. So here's a dashboard. In the dashboard, you can create your own project. And there are 3 different ways of creating a project. You can import verified smart contracts. You can upload something from your own device. Or you can import something from GitHub. So for you guys, I have a project ready. So I'll get straight into it. So when you look at the interface, it is quite familiar, especially if you're a dev. It's quite similar to VS Code. You've got your interface over here and a directory tree. So the auditing process is quite simple. On the top right, you have this Audit Now button, and it's going to take a few seconds to calculate the credits. So credits is how we calculate how much money is being spent for your smart contract audits. So there are 2 types of audits that you can perform on a platform. If you can see, this will audit the current file if I select it. Or if you want to go for the full project audit, this is the option that you have to select. So since it's costing me the same, I'm just going to go for the full project audits here and click Proceed. So it's going to take about a period of 5 to 10 seconds, and in some time, you should have an audit report. Yeah, so let's wait together. OK, we do have something. Let's find out. Oh, it's a reentrancy vulnerability. So the way this audit report is working is each of the vulnerabilities is going to snap to exactly where the vulnerability exists. And you're going to get a description. Now, this description is not something general that you would say about reentrancy. It's not explaining reentrancy to you. It's explaining how this exists in your smart contract. And that's because of our own fine-tuned LLM that we have trained. And it's reading through your smart contracts to understand this vulnerability. And it's giving you a remediation, which is quite long and exhausting. And I don't want to read it. So here are 2 things you can do. You can either fix this yourself, or you can use your autofix, which is available for a select few vulnerabilities. So let's see how that works. And it seems the autofix has fixed it. But to really check, you got to hit Audit Now again. OK, let's go. And yay, 0 vulnerabilities. So that was a pretty simple demonstration of what this tool is capable of. We have over 80 detectors Uh, at the moment, we cannot really figure out really complex business logic bugs in your smart contracts, but that's where we are going with it. Now, in the pipeline at the top, you're going to see manual audits. So because we are an auditing company, this is going to put you straight into the pipeline. Let's say you do not trust AI-powered audits. You're going to head straight to our manual audits, and you can get that done. But let's say you don't want that. We're going to have monitoring and incident response. So monitoring is again going to use some AI-powered models to detect the transactions in the mempool and how they're interacting with the smart contract. And if there's any sort of hack that could potentially happen, our incident response tools are going to come in and they're going to act as a circuit breaker. So that's going to stop the attacks from happening, and that's post-deployment security for you. And that's what Quill Shield is at the moment, I guess. Yeah. So any questions? Okay. So yeah, that's it. That's pretty much what Quill Shield is, and we are launching today. If you guys are interested, please check it out at our booth. Thank you.
Hello, guys. I'm George, the founder of Euclid Swap. What Euclid Swap is attempting is to be able to build the first modular, unified, and accessible liquidity layer across the entire blockchain. So first of all, what is our vision? First of all, simplification. Right now, with Cosmos, with Substrate, with Layer 2s, liquidity is getting more and more fragmented everywhere. So there's no source of truth, and liquidity and the fragmentation of liquidity is causing huge fragmentation, which is causing high slippage, bad user experience, and basically an unusable layer for perps, lending protocols to be able to use on any chain, right? So most users and traders, like arbitrage bots, our day traders would prefer to go to a centralized exchange to do their trades, especially if it's high volume, like 10K plus. So what we're trying to solve is to create a decentralized layer where we can offer the lowest slippage and the best price. First of all, let's talk about the problem. As we said, fragmented liquidity causes problems for three main stakeholders. First of all, we have the users. So the users on any chain, whether you're on Solana, Ethereum, except for the top 15 protocols, experience very high slippage and a very high barrier to usage, especially if you need to bridge tokens from one place to another, or if you have a few tokens here and there, it's hard to unify them in one place and do a trade. Second of all, chains are fighting a zero-sum game of liquidity. Now, we have a research paper I think you'll be able to see, but basically, over the last 2 years, the TVL in decentralized exchanges did not grow at all, zero, while the TVL in DeFi has grown tenfold, right? So what's happening is the chains, each one is building their own DEX, and then they're all fighting for the same liquidity. And the winners are the top 0.1% of protocols of over 3,000 centralized exchanges, and they're getting all the liquidity from the smaller protocols, and the smaller protocols are dying slowly, while the bigger are getting more and more of a monopoly, right? So that's a zero-sum game, and no chain benefits from this. And third of all, DeFi apps, as we talked, have no modular liquidity, deep liquidity they can access for DeFi lending cross-chain. Now, what is the Euclid solution? What we're trying to do? We're trying, we're trying to create unified cross-chain liquidity, which will first allow users to benefit from the lowest slippage across any exchange and the most accessible liquidity. You don't bridge, you don't choose the chain. It's like using just Binance or Coinbase. Just trade with a wallet. And finally, for DeFi apps, lending, perpetual protocols, any layer 2 DeFi will be able to tap into this liquidity using a very easy API to be able to basically increase the margin of profits, of course, and the revenue, plus decreased slippage and bad experience for the users. So usually we have the normal cross-product AMM, and it's basically you have two pools with each 100K of liquidity, and then you trade on one, and you have high slippage because you have 100 here and 100 there, and you cannot trade on 200, although it exists. Then you have cross-chain swaps, which we have seen a lot, and basically you have two pools, same thing, but now you can swap on one chain, bridge to the other, and it's pretty simple right now, and then swap on, and sometimes swap on the second pool as well, so you're getting still the same amount of slippage, if not more. And third of all, this is our new model, which is we're aiming to build. We have pools on each and every chain, whichever chain we can, and basically it's all unified virtually and on one hub, which is one chain, so it's all decentralized. And basically this allows you to trade on 200K of liquidity on any chain you want using our Euclid messaging protocol. And this basically brings you 50% lower slippage, better user experience, and more accessible liquidity. Now, how does it work? Really quick. Basically, you can deploy a pool on any chain that we integrate. It takes like 5 minutes. And then you're able to directly connect using our messaging protocol and model with the virtual liquidity pool that exists right now on Nibiru, which is on the Cosmos ecosystem. And I'll explain why. And when you connect to it, that's it. You can directly do any trade from any chain and tap into all the liquidity. And any new chain could come in, and rather than building their own DAX, fighting for liquidity, doing partnerships, could tap into all of this liquidity at once. Okay, so why now and why we chose the Cosmos to build? First of all, Cosmos is growing bigger really fast. In the last 12 months, it has seen an increase in 10 plus new layer 1s and over 30 plus new DeFi apps, right? And all these require liquidity, and all these require pools, require mostly modular liquidity to be able to interact, right? Or else most of them will become useless in a year or two. And that's the truth we have seen right now with majority of protocols, and very few do succeed. So right now, and also, sorry, Cosmos also has IBC, which is inter-blockchain communication, which allows all the chains to communicate really easily without any centralized bridge. And you can go outside of Cosmos as well to EVM, Solana, whatever you want. So total available market, so this is like the total available market, but we have, on Cosmos you have 1 billion in TVL, in decentralized exchanges only. On Ethereum you have 10 billion, Solana 1.3 billion, that's excluding rollups, L2s, Polygon, all of that stuff. So the market is big, but it's all fragmented. We're trying to unify all of this. So we're building on Nibiru. First of all, we got a grant from Nibiru to build this on their chain. Their chain specifically for DeFi, which has, I think, a maximum of 40K TPS per transactions per second. We have a massive support from their team. Some of their team are our advisors as well. And they have strong KOL partnerships, and I think they can help us infuse all this liquidity to grow. Now our traction, as we said, we already got a grant from Nibiru. They will also have an MOU to bring between 250 and 1 million of liquidity as soon as we launch from Nibiru. And we committed, now it's here at 15, but we now reached 40% of our pre-seed committed. And we also we are finalizing partnerships with other chains as well, so we can launch as much chains as possible. So the team, very quickly, myself, I have 4+ years of experience in blockchain development, mostly in the Cosmos ecosystem. Before that, I have a dev shop called Athena. We worked with over 10+ startups in the space. And Sean is the head of growth. He basically founded a leads company for Web3. He also helped over 5+ DeFi companies grow from 5 to 10 million in TVL. So our advisors, we have Ramzi Danawi, I think he's here as well. And he's CEO and founder of Unbundle. He has access to capital, members, and he supports us in fundraising and operations. And we have Huss, which is a KOL in the Cosmos space. And he's big there, and he helps us partnerships with chains and go-to-market strategy. So Athena, our team is working on the project. We've worked with over 12+ teams in the space, such as Shade Protocol, Angel Protocol, Andromeda, AADAO. These are mostly Cosmos projects, but we also worked outside of Cosmos. So our roadmap is pretty simple. Now it's changed a bit, but that's the old version. But basically, we're closing our pre-seed right now, and by summer, we're aiming to go to testnet, and hopefully by Q4 2024, we'll be able to deploy on mainnet. And we're closing our seed round after we launch on testnet, and yeah. Revenue model is very similar for Uniswap governance token or Osmosis. Basically, we take a basis fee, a 3-point basis fee, depending on the pool, of course, from each transaction. And 50% goes to liquidity providers, 20% to treasury, and 30% to stakers that stake the token. Now, our pre-seed total is around 600K, which is 8.5% of supply. And the valuation is at $7.5 million. Investing, we also changed that. It's now 4-month cliff because we want to be in the bull run, and a 18 months vesting schedule, linear vesting. And that's it. Thank you, guys.
Yep. Okay. Hi everyone. I'm Shano from Trade Phoenix. So Trade Phoenix is a DApp under the XDC network itself. So XDC is a layer 1 blockchain, which is EVM compatible and is enterprise grade itself. So Trade Phoenix is a DApp within XDC. What it does is it focuses on the trade finance space itself. So it does focusing on RWA. So what it does is it connects both exporters as well as the lenders itself. And the main focus in terms of exporters which we have are more on the MSME market itself. So the main reason why we are focusing on MSMEs is because they actually have higher costs for capital itself. So I think what we want to do is we want to empower and enable the smaller firms in their trade finance endeavors itself. So why XDC for trade finance itself? So the main reason why we chose XDC, besides being funded by them, is also because for XDC is MILITA compliant. So MILITA is a standard in which it will enable digital trade finance itself. So our blockchain is MILITA compliant, and we see this as an avenue of growth in the space of trade finance itself. And why? So what is the use of blockchain in trade finance? I think the main purpose of blockchain in trade finance is that so that the trade finance receivables, since the transactions are immutable, so that we can actually confirm that all these documents, the trade finance documents such as the bills of lading, are not double presented for financing itself. So in terms of asset managers, why should they invest and provide liquidity to trade finance itself? I think it's quite simple, because for trade finance as well as receivables finance, they actually have very low correlation with the likes of the equities markets. So this is very good for those who actually want to have a low correlation, but yet try to maximize the cash which they are holding on to. So in terms of use cases, besides trade finance itself, I think we are slowly increasing, our scope to also include the likes of supply chain financing, as well as invoice financing and invoice factoring itself. So I think the main difference is that for trade finance, because the bills of lading are bearer documents itself, so it effectively means that all of the assignment can be done on chain itself, whereas for supply chain financing, whereby you take hold of inventory, for example, as well as invoice financing, these are not bearer documents itself, which means that the documents need to be assigned, have to be legally assigned off-chain before this is effective per se. So so at Trade Phoenix itself, I think we have aggressively started our proof of concept as well as pilots. So how a typical lender actually gets on board our platform, they usually would open a Popeye account, because this is in trade finance itself. So I think the necessary checks such as KYC as well as the AML as well as sanctions checks are required, which is the norm for trade finance itself. So all of the loans are actually financed in FXD, which is our US soft-backed stablecoin that is over-collateralized using the XDC token itself. So some of the POCs which we have worked with previously include the likes of Zoff as well as as well as invoice made. And the successful case studies which have financed so far are the likes of Trade Flow, as well as funding societies itself. So, like how we see private credit with Trade Phoenix as well as XDC, we see that, like in terms of innovations for blockchain, they are actually, like once when you actually hook up the whole network itself, I think we would actually view this as something like a DocuSign moment, but for trade finance itself, whereby the likes of the bills of lading no longer need to actually be sent in paper form across the globe, but actually you can do it in electronic form itself. And like previously mentioned, like once we have blockchain, all these trade finance documents, what you can be assured of is that like they won't be double presented, so this can help in terms of preventing fraud. So over at Trade Phoenix, I think we are not actively raising now, but I think we are on the lookout for liquidity providers who actually want to provide the liquidity to support MSMEs in trade finance itself. Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Next, we have Catapulta.
Good day, dear ladies and gentlemen. My name is George Poliani, and today I'm gonna be telling you about a startup which is helping to deploy smart contracts for the developers. Until I begin, can I please ask you to raise your hands if you're a VC or angel investor or at least investing in Bitcoin? No? Okay, at least investing in Bitcoin. I see some hands, good. Finally. And please raise your hands, those guys who are actively deploying smart contracts, or maybe some enthusiasts perfect, nice to see you guys. Thank you very much for your time then, because I think that today this presentation is gonna be more useful for you. So, let me start. We all know, especially the developers who have raised their hands, that deploying smart contracts, it's a total nightmare. Imagine a world with no easy-to-use platform like Vercel, and instead everything is done with the hard way, manually. With no friendly interface, developers lose track of what's happening, which leads to delays. And then there's the issue of smart contracts verification. And then, when everything is checked and done, millions can get hacked easily. So it's clear that Web3 developers need better, modern tools and solutions. Simple research shows that developers are dealing with a lot of issues with smart contracts verifications, and some of those problems are everywhere, online, in Twitter, in Discord, Telegram, GitHub, you name it. So, our solution is Catapulta. It's like a one-stop shop for Web3 teams. With Catapulta, you get a smart contracts platform that's ready to support you across over 1,000 layer 2 networks coming in today and beyond. With us, you can say goodbye to manual configurations and dealing with different chains. Catapulta handles multi-chain deployments hassle-free with no need of RPC setups. Plus, it automatically verifies your contracts on block explorers, and it's easy to use because it's plug and play and already integrated with both Foundry and Hardhat. The use cases are pretty simple. We all know that there are a lot of DEXs, bridges, DAOs, NFT marketplaces, and so on and so forth. Our market consists of mostly developers, and you just go into LinkedIn and type there Solidity developers. You already see more than 80,000 Solidity developers, which are already registered. And Gelato expects more than 1,000 layer 2s in this year, and 40K devs deployed in 15 public networks if we go into the 90 days trailing data last year. The main benefits is that we have better DevX, so we think about our users, and we're concentrated especially on developers, so you guys have it in a nice and easy and comfortable to use platform. You have access, as I already told you, to more than 1,000 EVMs. You automatize your verification. You have easier migration, and moreover, you automate your workflows, plus you can integrate and add there your team members, stakeholders, and even your clients. So it looks like this. To put it very, very simple, I'm going to show you how the dashboard is looking. Right on the on the right side of the screen, you can see it. So we have automated deployment reports, which show deployment contract addresses, transactions, direct links to block explorers in the network, metadata, ABI hostings, and gas cost trackings. Our MVP is already live. We have pushed it and released it this February, and it's already working. We even have already some feedback for senior Solidity developers, as you can see here, who especially emphasize the ease of use and the verification automation and deployment reports. So what's next? It's very simple. 2 weeks ago, we have officially launched our fundraise. So as you can see, it's Q2, so we're way ahead of our roadmap already. In Q3, the TGE is planned for our token, which I'm going to speak very, very briefly, just in a few seconds. Then we do the versatile-like DevX, as I already told you before. Invariant AI testing is planned for the Q1 next year, and staking and RPC mesh features to be done also in Q1 next year. Our business model is very simple. We have a freemium business model. We give our users 2 weeks of trial version, and then we charge you just not more than $588 per year, and a little bit even less if you already do an annual subscription with us. This is a B2C thing. If we're talking about our business clients, then you can already congratulate us, because like a week ago, ETHDubai became our official service provider of ETHDubai. So basically, we already have several businesses onboarded as well, and these prices are negotiable because we usually develop individual solutions for businesses, depending on their requirements, obviously. And the final thing that I want to say about the Catapult platform, we also have your gas costs covered with a gas relay function. For those who don't know, it's working very, very, very simple. You just top up your account, let's say on 100 USDC with a stable coin, and you don't have to have a headache on buying some gas, some Ethereum gas, some other tokens in order to deploy your smart contracts. The market size is pretty big, as we all know. I'm not going to be talking a lot about it, so basically it's just very big. We have this calculated, and we can give you more data on it if you are interested in investing. So basically, finally, I'll just add some things about our competitors. If we look at our direct competitors, unfortunately for them, unfortunately for us, they're not so keen on developing those features that we already have, especially the plug-and-play deployments. And even some of those do not have such integrations as we do by supporting Foundry and Hardhat on our platform. Finally, if we're talking business here, we're releasing our token, as I said, the Q3. This year, we're doing a private raise. We have been working together with Standard Finance with the token simulations and tokenomics building. We have a special discounted price for our seed one investors, so first come, first serve basis. And we're raising there 500, and then the rest is 3 million. So the logic there is pretty simple, because the evaluation in the beginning that we have right now is over than 12 million, and after seed one and after some traction and finally putting some money into marketing and PR, because we have done like zero marketing for now, our evaluation will be logically bigger. Talking about our Kata utility token, so as I said, it's a 100% utility token, which gives special features and more features that developers will be using. As I told you before, like you can do RPC-less deployment and many, many other features, plus of course paying for gas as well. Moreover, we have designed a special program for RPC providers so that they can stake our token and of course get some liquidity and some DEX program as well. I can give you some more details if you approach me. I'll be the whole day here, and not only me, but also the founder is here, and our business developer, Jose, please raise your hand. He is also here, so yeah, please approach us. We'll be more than welcome to answer all your questions. So Basically, that's it. This is our vesting and token distribution model. I'm not going to be stopping on that. If you're interested, I'm going to be just sharing this information with you after in couloirs of this splendid event. I'm just finalizing with the team. Our team consists of very skilled professionals, me, myself, me and Dmitry Ivanov. We have raised the crypto processing unicorn back in the day. I did an exit like a year and a half before. And now I'm consulting mostly infrastructural companies, and I became a CCO of Catapulta. Our founder is tech genius who has exited Aave also last year and has begun to build Catapulta last year. And we also have, as I said before, our BizDev from ex-Spark Network guy, Jose Rodriguez. By the way, big round of applause to our founder, David Ratero, who is here. You can also talk to him. And also we have our blockchain full stack developer, Yolanda Lopez, who has also been in our team as well. We already have some advisors, Binance marketing, growth and operations PMO lead in Binance as our marketing advisor, Daniel from Unlocked as our technical one, and Francesco from Chain Labs as our product advisor. Plus, a little secret revealed, we're gonna have some other advisor joining us by the end of this month, also both as an advisor and as an investor. Thank you very much for your time. Please feel welcome to ask me any other questions. Here is my Telegram. Here are also our links. You can check us on GitHub, on LinkedIn, and some other social networks. And thank you very much for your attention.
Hi everyone, my name is Tagan. I'm the co-founder of Kinetics Network, and today I would like to talk about the Intents. It's a revolution in DeFi, and we can build instant swap across multiple networks, and it's based on a ZK proof. We create the first decentralized Bitcoin on a ZK on the platform of Saxent Labs. So why Intents is so important for the DeFi? Let's take a look, for example, how we will move liquidity between different networks. We need to find the bridge, pay gas. After this, our assets going somewhere in the black hole, and we need to wait for that. As soon as we receive our assets on another network, we need to find the DEX again. We also need to keep a gas on another network, switch our wallet, launch DEX, and we also need to understand all the settings. We need to understand what is the price impact, what is the slippage tolerance. We don't have a fixed raise, and if you use, for example, like let's say DEX aggregators or bridge aggregators, the transaction can be stuck in an intermediate network, because when the gas pumping or slippage tolerance limits not pass, the transaction failed. We need to withdraw it, pay gas again, and relaunch it. So, but the solution could be one of the which we would like to present. It's an intent-based solution. So, when we can delegate any of our tasks to the professional market makers, and we can ask them that we want to like pay in A and receive B. So we don't want to understand how all the settings work, how the like price slippage, math, or gas, which I need to store on each network. So I just want to delegate to somebody my task and ask them to execute it in the time which we commit. I also can ask them to provide me a decentralized IML report for this. How does that work? So let's imagine we have some decentralized network, and users, they create an intent. Intent send it to the network, and network notify all the players, so that we have receive a new request. And all the market makers, they provide the price range with the quote. So they compete, and the winner, he receives the order. As soon as the market maker receives the order, who will execute it, we need to be sure that user is guard and protect from the fail, like from the fail change. And for this, in our architecture, we use a collateral system. So what's happened here? As soon as we receive a quote, and if user agree with this quote, user provide a signature, like approve. Approve allows to market maker pay gas for the user and withdraw funds. As soon as the funds withdraw, all the market maker who have a collateral, he have like private time for execute this order. For example, let's imagine like 90 seconds. During these 90 seconds, only one market maker can execute this order. If transaction pass and user receive his assets, we don't need to pay any intermediaries. So we don't need to pay for validators, wait for each validators, or pay to the liquidity providers in the pool. So we will have like a two on-chain transaction. First transaction is a market maker withdraw on-chain, and the second transaction market maker pay in a destination network. But if transaction not complete in time, in this case, transaction become public. So this means that anyone can liquidate it. We call it liquidation. How does it work? There is a two scenario possibility how that can be. The first, user can withdraw collateral from the market maker, and collateral is always higher. For example, market maker withdraw like 100 from you, and the collateral 150. So there is a interest and possibility to make easy money for liquidators. So they just pay directly to the user, like 100, and they can withdraw 150. Or user can withdraw 150 from the collateral. So that's how we see the decentralization, because we don't need to trust anyone for this. And we use it for this ZKPay. ZKP is a light client based on a zero knowledge. So what we've done here, we take all the historical data from the blockchain, shrink it in a one light client, and deploy it in the different networks. So using a smart contract, we can read all the blockchain, all the historical data from another blockchain. And we create this solution for the Bitcoin. As you can see here in the result, we have a very big difference, at least in the gas cost, because we will have like a two on-chain transaction. Each transaction costs around 65, 62 gas units. So the general token transfer is 59K. In our case, there is a two on-chain transaction, so which will cost around 120K for moving any amount of liquidity. Execution time is just a few blocks, so it depends on the network. For some network, we need to keep a little bit more, but usually, like if you move liquidity, for example, Arbitrum or Optimism, it's around 1 to 2 seconds. And the rates. Because we don't pay to any intermediaries or third parties, we have rates where we spend our money only for the miners, and also we take a little small commission for like estimation of gas. We're already live. Our new domain is swaps.io, so you can test it right now. It's in the mainnet, so you can buy, sell, move, decentralize Bitcoin and other assets instantly using intent-based model with the ZKP. Our next version, what we were planning to do, we will create intent-based model with a combined transaction between networks. So you can delegate to resolvers, for example, to take your asset, put it in a stake, after this put it in a restake, and provide to you like LRT or any other tokens, and this can be done between all the networks. Here is my contacts. If you're interested, I can tell you more about this solution and what we're planning to do, how we're planning to scale. Thank you. My name is Tiger.
Hello? Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Alamin Al-Bakri, and I'm the Chief Business and Strategy Officer of SurferMonkey. We are a blockchain agnostic crypto mixer that is regulatory compliant. Web3 users have an expectation of privacy, but regulators want transparency. This has created a problem. The problem is RWAs and tokenized derivatives and corporations that want to use these products require privacy. They don't want their assets fully disclosed to everybody on the blockchain. There's going to be about $16.1 trillion in tokenized derivatives and RWAs on the blockchain by 2030. In order for institutions to use the blockchain, they're going to require a solution for privacy that privatizes their transaction over the blockchain. SurferMonkey has created a simple widget using a few lines of JavaScript that will help institutions privatize their own data using ZK proofs. That is regulatory compliant we've been working along with the FCA and the ADGM to make sure that our solution is both compliant and doesn't go outside of the bounds of regulations. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Miguel, the CEO of SurferMonkey, and he will go over the technical aspects of our solution.
Hello, hi everyone. So the product is a simple widget, right? It's only 2 steps. And this is being powered by a novel CK mixer. It's been more than 2 years of R&D. And we also have the oversight dashboard, which allows financial regulators and the institution itself to, on mixed transactions, flag any transaction that is suspicious and apply the required financial forensics and accountability. So the technology stack, it's all done. Our product is finished. It's divided in different layers. At the bottom, we have the mixing layer via our universal CK mixer. Then on top of it, we have the compliance layer, which is the decentralized anonymous compliance technology. It has 2 main verticals, the traceability for their mixing and a firewall of sanction addresses at the actual smart contract level via non-membership proofs. On top of that, we have the application layer. This is the universal plugin, which allows us to call any smart contract, any app, and any function. And on top of that, we have the widget for user experience, which allows users and developers to easily interact with our protocol. In essence, we can also carry intents from one blockchain to another. So we have a user in Taiko. It creates the intent in Taiko, but this intent can be settled in Polygon to create a swap via SushiSwap. And we're obfuscating the source and the destination blockchain as well. Some highlights. We recently published in our blog private multi-smart contract calls, so you can come to our blog, read it. It allows us to make complex intents, such as agnostic swaps, and concatenate multiple intents. Next week, if you are in London, we are there with the FCA Digital Lab Expo, presenting our technology with the FCA. More than welcome to join us. We are engaging constantly with the ADGM and the FCA, and we are backed by Outlier Ventures. And yeah, thank you, everyone. Bye.
So, hello, I'm Danny from Inflow, co-founder of Inflow, the next generation payment service providers. Over the past years, fintech for merchant hasn't changed much. It looks great, but all of the online merchant payment ecosystem is based on old payment infrastructure, and there are a lot of issues. So in Web 2, you have a lot of problems with high transaction fees, high amount of intermediaries, and you have, on average, general payment service providers that give you around 2.5% on transactions. And in Web 3, with on-air firms, you have significant entry costs, so with a lot of, like KYC and adding your contact and things like this, a complex payment system, and that means that like you have, as a Web3 B2C business, you have a high barrier to user expansion. And on average, we have around 7% transaction fees on on-air frame. And that's where Inflow comes in, by providing a new type of payment service providers that is safer, quicker, and cheaper, leveraging open banking and blockchain, and by providing an on-chain merchant account for full control and ease of use. So how do we do that? So first off, we have the current payment service provider flow. So the user online is paying through like a payment gateway. So you can be like Stripe or PayPal. That would go through the credit card networks. So Visa, MasterCard, American Express. After that, you will have like an acquiring banks that will verify if the user have the money. And then the money will be sent directly to the online merchant account. As you can see, there is a lot of intermediaries and then a lot of transaction fees at each steps. With our flow, the user will connect directly to their banks thanks to open banking and then validate the payments, and Inflow will take care of all of the flow of payments, so from fiat to crypto to the on-chain merchant account, working with liquidity providers that can be CEXs, market makers, and stablecoin issuers. So right now we have 2 products. So the payment gateway, that will be an easy to integrate API for the merchant, so no change on his side. So he can operate worldwide with a seamless integration, low transaction fees, around 1%, with no KYC on the payer, and we can automate it the on-off ramp on the business side. So if a business just want to know you have the cross-border payments, he can directly off-ramp the money in his local bank account. And you have the fully on-chain merchant account that is fully self-custodial thanks to account abstraction with a simplified merchant platform. So no change again on the merchant side that can prevent friendly fraud, clawbacks, and even in the future we can provide treasury management module because then now you have a wallet as a business that can be connected directly to all of the Web3 ecosystem. So you can have lending, borrowing, yield strategy as a merchant. So right now we mainly focus on small to medium-sized business in Web3 companies that is focused on B2C and that really want to only sell services and not like, token or things like this. SaaS adds on with our API like Shopify, Webflow, and e-gaming companies. And mainly our revenue model will be on transaction fees, treasury management features fees, and maybe in the future, a token issuance. So that's the team. So we have Alida, one of our co-founders that worked more than 5 years in the London Stock Exchange. We have me, Danny, that worked mainly in the Web3 spaces, and Anafi, that worked in the Web2 e-commerce space. And we have our advisor, Chong, that worked in the financial space in Hong Kong and Asia. George, that worked more than like 8 years in PayPal. And Luca, that worked in the Web2 and Web3 space in France and has done 2 exits. So if you want, you can take like a picture on the QR code to explain and to talk with us about your payment experience. Currently, we are finalizing discussions with Web2 and Web3 merchant that will allow us to bring over 50 million volume at launch. But yeah, thank you.
So hello everyone. I'm sorry, I'm cold from the AC, so I have to have my jacket on. So nice to see you. I'm going to be short. So we are security auditors, and the main problem with security is that it doesn't scale. There are some pretty interesting presentations today about security tooling, and we have one piece to add. So our idea is how to make the security process more automated and scalable. If you don't know us, we'll be working with quite some names in the industry, and we are really happy that we could be the service provider for projects such as 1inch or Safe or Lido. And I always say that like the best auditing companies provide something back, which in our case is open source. It's like TrailBits have their Slitter, OpenZeppelin is providing all the libraries, and we have our Wake. So Wake is a framework, which basically is a static analyzer, is a fuzzer, and a lot of other stuff. And I will be speaking about Wake tomorrow. So if you are interested in our tech, so please come to my talk at Sunday at 11. Here is not space to talk about the tech. But here I want to speak about what we can do with the tech. Because the tech is quite powerful. So far, these are some of the issues that we have discovered in quite high-profile protocols, not by a manual code review as every other auditor, but using our technology. And you can see we have had a medium issue in Lido recently, of course some criticals, high severity issue in Brahma. So the tech quite works. But the problem is we are the only builders of this tooling, and our capacity is limited. So our idea is we want to open up. And we want to open up by basically creating a marketplace where every, let's say, average Ethereum/Web3 developer can contribute to the tooling and create some kind of like detector that is then finding issues in other projects. So you can understand it as a marketplace for security detectors. And if we open our tooling to this stage, we will allow a much higher number of developers to actually become security researchers and much higher number, but every developer to be a security researcher. And it could be quite easy. So this is the main idea, and we want to race for that. And if you have any more questions, I'm here, or you can write me on Telegram. The team has already proven that we can do stuff. In our team are multiple Ethereum yellow paper contributors. We are teaching at the university in Prague, and we received grants from Ethereum Foundation, Solana Foundation, Coinbase. So we quite know how to build the stuff, and we want to teach the others to do it too. Thank you for your attention.
Yeah, hi everyone. Thank you for having me here. And I would like to start with asking you one simple question. Would you like to have more startups succeed? And yeah, I believe the answer is obvious, for sure, yes. But unfortunately, we have 90 to 95% of startups fail, depends on the industry and vertical. And this is the problem that I would like to solve. Yeah, my name is Dr. Pavel Vinitsky. I'm CEO and founder of Synexis. I'm serial entrepreneur and business strategist for over 20 years of experience. I hold my PhD and MBA, and for the last 5 years, I've been working mostly with startups, both in Web2 and Web3 niches. And talking to hundreds of investors and founders, I've identified a number of issues that are fundamentally broken in the industry. Then I started to collect the data, trusted data, to check my hypothesis, and what I found is that 92% of investors reports of lack of transparencies in the companies they invest money in. And it happens because of the poor management of operations, both legal, financial, IP, and yeah, specifically if talking about IP, up to 90% of companies don't care about that at all or poorly manage that. But that leads to a situation of litigation of IP and copyright claims, loss of licensing deals, and yeah, so this is something that should be sorted from the very first day and do it right. The second piece is the co-founders' disagreements and conflicts that appear from the unequal involvement on the long run. And that comes to a situation when ghost founders can appear or a company can fail at all, and for sure it's a red flag for the investors again. And all that things comes to the next serious problem when companies run out of money. And they have no financing from investors and no interest, yeah? And that specifically happens on the markets when we have the situation when we have a big dump on the VC funding, both on the early and late stage deals, both in numbers and amounts, and as well as the LP to VCs funding is on the minimum now. So it is why I created Synexis, to create a platform for startups and founders in order to help founders to fundraise and be successful, and for investors to mitigate the risks and grow ROI. And so, in a nutshell, Synexis is a SaaS platform, on-chain platform that revolutionizes startup management with blockchain and AI, enhances transparency, security, success, and streamlined operations. So what we provide to startups, we provide investors visibility, compliance, and reporting. And how we do that? We manage intellectual property, both what is coming to the created in the company is going out of the company, its copyright, know-how, and path to patents. And we also manage their commitment, milestones, and deliverables of founders in order to manage cap table and tokenomics. And we start this journey with founders from the grants application to the ecosystems, where we manage milestones and create the first view of what's going on with the startup. We help them manage legal things like documents and all the legal management as well. And based on all the data that startups manage with our platform, we create the metrics and scores for investors in order to match them properly using ZK. We also provide the possibility for investors to track the companies, their progress and updates, and on the next level to manage the existing portfolio as well. We do it all on-chain, so with high level of security and privacy. So even we as the company don't have access to the data of the founders on our databases. So we have a fantastic team to execute that vision to help startups to be successful. I told about me also. We have seasoned professionals in marketing, business, Web3, Web2, and AI development. We have fantastic partners in this journey so far. It's several large blockchains. It's established law firms in Silicon Valley, MENA region, and Europe, and a number of incubators, VCs, universities, and different types of ecosystem players. Also, I won the pitch contest from Tim Draper's University, and I will lead to San Francisco for the HERO program, with Andrew Chen, Elon Musk, and Tim Draper himself being mentors. Yeah, and we operate on a very fast-growing market. We are going to reach an opportunity of 50 million in revenues in 5 years' term. Our business model is straightforward. It's on-chain SaaS, both for Web 2 and Web 3 companies, with extra LTV revenues to grow the LTV. So our go-to-market is based initially on the large strategic partnerships, and then a full spectrum of marketing to develop. Our competition is very fragmented. There are no direct competitions, but there are some Web2 companies on some parts of the features. And we have a very straightforward roadmap. We already raised our angel round. We already bring the MVP to the market. We have early traction, and we have strategic partners in the journey. And we raise our pre-seed now of 1.5 mil in order to perform the AI and ZK and cryptography developments, to release our beta this summer, and to onboard our first 1,000 paid clients. But more of that, we invite all the ecosystem players, investors, ecosystems, accelerators, incubators to be our partners in this journey, to bring our mission to life, to make more startups successful. And yeah, so I will be glad to working with you to help startups to grow and to partner with every ecosystem player to make this a joint success. Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. I'm Reza from Fides Innova. Fides Innova is a decentralized physical infrastructure network DPN for Internet of Things, or IoT. IoT devices are everywhere. Right now, we have 17 billion IoT devices around the world. And this number raises to almost 30 billion IoT devices by 2030, almost doubled. But there is a challenge in IoT ecosystems. When your IoT device sends data to your computer or mobile, in fact, the data goes to a centralized system, your IoT vendor server, which we know that the IoT administrator, server administrator, may manipulate your data. Also, when the data comes back to your mobile, still you cannot trust that data because maybe your IoT device is hacked. Fides Innova has a solution to this challenge. Our solution is called Zero Knowledge Internet of Things. Using ZK IoT, you can confirm that an IoT firmware is executed correctly. So if you have a drone, if you have a temperature sensor or any sensor, you can confirm that the device is not compromised and the generated data is trusted. Our solution is peer-reviewed by other scientists and is presented in IEEE International Conference on Blockchain and Cryptocurrency. How ZK IoT works? There are three main roles in ZK IoT. The first one is IoT manufacturer. For example, here, as you see, we have a drone manufacturer. The manufacturer, using ZK IoT technology, they can create a commitment for their firmware and submit that commitment on Fides Innova blockchain. Later, when the IoT device owner sends information on the network, that data comes with a ZKP, can prove that this data is coming from a valid source. Finally, if someone uses that data, for example, someone wants to capture, access the picture that captured by that drone or any IoT device data, simply verify the ZKP and can understand that the data is coming from a valid and legitimate source. There is a wide range of use cases for ZK IoT. For example, assume autonomous vehicles equipped with ZK IoT technology, and then they can assure you that they are not compromised. Or sensors, for example, in oil and gas industry. They can generate data, and then they can certify the accuracy of their readings. Finally, drones. They can validate and guarantee that their firmware execution is valid, and you can trust to generated data. And more importantly, healthcare sector. For example, pharmaceutical companies can define some incentive programs for the patients that provide their biodata, bio signals anonymously. This can help medical research, and maybe they save lives. What we have done so far, we created the main elements for these systems. The web app, the blockchain node, and the ZKP schemes are developed. Also, we have done this test on one of our earliest partner, a company created sensors, door sensor, motion detector, thermometer, hygrometer, and a smart button to show how ZK IoT can work on an actual hardware. Our team is moving fast. In next 2 months, we launch our testnet, and next January, we will switch to mainnet. Also, in this system, we use FDS as a token to exchange and facilitate the IoT data and IoT services. FIDES Innova has a team of highly educated and experienced people. All our 4 founders received their PhD from top-ranked universities in Canada and the USA, and have more than 100 papers in top-ranked journals and conferences. We are thinking to raise $2 million in return of 20% of FIDES Innova stakes. And we believe that FIDES Innova would be the next disruptive technology for IoT domain. Thank you so much for your attention. Invest in FIDES Innova and become the architect behind the next 30 billion IoT devices. Thank you.
Okay, welcome, and very pleased to be here in Dubai with you. My name is Marcel Cure, and I work, I'm a core contributor for Continuum, a DAO, and our reason for being is to create the first public decentralized MPC network. So the major challenges that we face in interoperability between different blockchains relate to the ability to scale, as we see the large number of new chains being created continuously. Existing interoperability solutions struggle to keep up with that. The poor user experience people have, everyone's expected to understand the interfaces to each of the chains, the wallets, and so on. The problem with call them fake dApps. They're not really decentralized applications, some of them, and they don't exhibit true decentralization. And the problems of DAOs, which aren't really decentralized. So Continuum is a pure DAO. We were formed initially as a DAO to solve that trust issue, at least. Every decision made is through on-chain voting and on-chain governance. And we don't have any central authority. We're a team. All spending decisions, all contract deployments, admin function, updates, and so on are all controlled by voting. So we are worldwide distributed. We have core contributors around the globe. And our intention is to create a system, an MPC network, that does not require anybody to actually run it at all. It'll be self-running. So scalability. The way we address scalability is that we have nodes in our MPC network they're public, and anyone can run an MPC node. And the number of nodes is not really limited. And any DApp that wishes to use interoperability between blockchains, a DApp can, in a permissionless way, they can select which node set they wish to use in that network. And those nodes could be people from their own community running them, or they could be well-trusted nodes, institutional nodes. It's up to them. And we connect blockchains, heterogeneous blockchains from the EVM ecosystem, but also we're integrating Solana and Cosmos ecosystem, and parachains and so on. And we have a message passing system called C3 Caller, which is very easy to implement and we well documented. And as I said before, we operate through on-chain governance, but not just on-chain governance. We've developed a system of on-chain, cross-chain governance as well. And all our decisions are, of course, traceable. And the MPC, multi-party computation, anyone doesn't know, it's just basically a node in the network will be responsible for signing just one part of or creating one part of the key, the private key that's actually used to sign a transaction. It doesn't know anything other than a shard of that key. The whole key is never created, except when it's actually signing, so no nodes have knowledge of that. And in our system, keys can be recycled. They're recycled periodically for extra security. And the throughput through the nodes is all traceable, so you can see which nodes are signing which transactions, are responsible for collectively signing them. MPC nodes have multiple purposes. They can be used for different functions. Come to that in a minute. For extra security, we operate a trusted execution environment to ensure that the code actually running on each MPC node is identical to the others. And we have proactive security strategies. I talked about the key cycling before. Other MPC solutions, you often hear MPC being used, but often, or usually, they're completely private networks. You don't know who's running the nodes, and they're not open source. So all our code is open source. It's easy for us to integrate EVMs. We can do it within sometimes hours, and other blockchains like Solana and Near, Sui require a bit of work, but not too difficult. We charge with a fee per byte model for cross-chain messages. So we're like a phone carrier, charging per second. We want to be seen as a public good in Web3. That is just provides a service that is there and easy to use, and dApps that integrate us know that we will be around forever because there's no central authority in our system at all. So, as a public good, which is our mission, we have, at the base layer, we have our Continuum network, thousands of nodes, we hope. We're in testnet now. Above that, we have one use of the MPC network, which is our C3 caller, our message passing system, which is a simple, any dApp can register their contract addresses on our network permissionlessly, and the actual Solidity functions on EVMs, at least, are very easy to integrates into a DApp. And above that C3 caller, we have the DApp layer. And we are incubating a router, a cross-chain router, which is in testnet also right now. And, but it's open source, and anyone's free to copy our router code to implement their own routers, in fact. But other dApps could be social fi networks for message passing using encrypted data communication, on-chain governance, as we mentioned before, cross-chain, or it could be anything that programmers can imagine. So I think you get some idea about how important being a DAO is to us. Everyone's welcome to join our DAO, and I'd encourage any, especially coders, to please join us in our mission. And we cherish the involvement of experienced people, knowledgeable people in our industry. We want to spread our token, our governance token, widely, and to assist in the decentralization. And we want those tokens to be held by people for whom it really matters that we can run a system in Web3 that is not controllable by anyone. Okay, thank you very much for watching, and you can find our social network, in the QR code. Thank you.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Goran. I'm coming from company Horror Games, and we are doing the game feed since 2018. Our first game, Crypto Idle Miner, has been downloaded over 1 million times on Google Play and Apple App Store. And today we are working on the feature that is called OG Pass, or the Open Gaming Pass, which is the basically Web3 implementation of the Battle Pass system that truly rewards. The problem that we are trying to solve is that the Web3 games has a lot of the complexity to the users. It is high-risk environment and unfamiliar concept to the old Web2 users. The volatility of the tokens are high, and we think about, and we spent more than 4 years thinking how we can create an environment that is made for be here for the long time. Our approach how to make the Web3 gaming more attractive, it needs to be familiar to the gamers, so the feature that they are using is already familiar. It needs to provide an easy onboarding process for Web2 users. Web3 mechanics should be invisible as much as possible. We will need to offer a stable and a bucket token, so the volatility is not that high. And it needs to be suitable for most of the games to implement within their gameplay. So basically, what is a Battle Pass? That is the feature that is introduced in Dota 2 and later popularized by the Fortnite and various PC and mobile games. Battle Pass is not a monetization tool. It's more like an engagement tool where developers engaging users to play for the whole season their game, and in that way they will spend more time and more money within the game. So basically, when the user wants to participate in the Battle Pass, they need to pay an entry fee, and after the season ends, they will collect the rewards that are distributed through the system when they complete some steps. Why we choose to implement the Battle Pass mechanic? Because we think it is already familiar to the users. The users that are playing the games perceive the value inside because it is clearly showed what they need to do in order to receive the rewards. It is the natural fit to Web3 games, and the implementation will be easy because the developers are already familiar with that. How we are going to improve the Battle Pass? So we will take the entry fee of the Battle Pass and we will use it to back the price of the token that we're going to issue and the reward users with that. So basically, we are creating the first currency that is fully backed by Ethereum, and it is known as an open gaming coin. How the OG Pass works? So in this case, we have two examples. User A, he paid the entry fee of $10, but in the Ethereum. And he completes 80% of the Battle Pass season. He will receive the $8 back in our coin, which is backed. And the user B paid the same $10, but he completes the 100% of the Battle Pass, and he's going to receive the $10 back. The user that received $8, he will get the in-game items as well. So basically, he will receive the chest, which can cost the $10, and he will not lose the money he paid for the Battle Pass. With unrealized rewards, we decided to burn 70% of them, which will increase the price of all the coins into the system. 25% will go to the developer, and we will take 5% as a protocol fee. In this example of $100 that are entering the system, we are aiming to have the 40% of unrealized rewards in, it is projected to be in some average scenario. So in that case, $60 will be minted and the bucket for the Open Gaming coin. $28 will be burned, which are increasing those price of those coins. Game developer take $10 and the protocol fee will be $2. We have a strategy how to increase the rewards of the users that are holding the OG coins. So basically, when the user completed the OG pass, he will mine the OG coins. At the same time, at the beginning of the season, he deposited the Ethereum that goes to OG fund, and that OG fund are used to back the price. When the money enters the OG pass, it will be automatically staked, and the API will be distributed to all the users, which is going to increase the price of the OG coin naturally over the years. In the example below, we have the user that purchased pass for the $10. When he completes, he gets the $10 back, and over the time, he will get more money because of the API and the unrealized rewards that will be distributed. During our market research, we have found that the Game Refinery in 2020 said 40 out of top 100 highest grossing games in the United States used the Battle Pass system, and 86 out of 100 games in Japan did the same. We can expect the similar trend to happen within the blockchain games because the users like that feature and they would like to be implemented in any games they played. In our round details, in our round, we are looking for $2 million at 40 million fully diluted valuation. It will be a token round, and if you would like to speak with me about that, I'll be here today or tomorrow. So, yeah, I'm just calling you to speak, and if you want, I can present you more how our OG coin works and the projects that we are working on the gaming side as well. We are 11 people team. We are experienced game and web developers, and we are based in Serbia. Here's my details, so if you'd like to contact me, yeah, you're welcome to. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Matteo, and I'm presenting Knights. It's the first premium real-world asset marketplace for tokenized Knights stays. So most real estate tokenizing projects are fractionalizing ownership. This, we tokenize one Knight, one token. So a brief description could be you can buy, sell, you can trade Knights, but you can also redeem those Knights to stay at those properties. So it's also like an on-chain Airbnb. So our model brings cash flow to the present because instead of using Airbnb to put your property and make some money, that way you don't know when the next guest is gonna come, you don't know if they're gonna come. Here, you can sell Knights into the future, you can sell 1 year of Knights, 2 years of Knights, bring all that cash flow to the present, and you just wait for the guests to come. Also, our model allows us to buy properties with this cash flow that's brought to the present, but there's many ways we can monetize this. So we can tokenize properties from third parties, and we can charge a fee. We can also lease and then sublease by tokenizing nights in different properties. And the third model, which is the one I like the most, is we buy properties by selling nights at these properties, and nights also becomes a real estate fund where we are holding many properties all over the world. The opportunity is pretty large. Of course, we have the NFT market, which is pretty large. Mostly it's just speculation. And then we have also the online booking market. How it works, we select suitable properties. This is, we do an in-house curation. It's not like an open where you can just put any property. We choose how many nights we want to tokenize for that property, and then users can buy, sell, or redeem those nights to stay. So the user flow looks, we have two different kinds of users. First, we have the user which we call the members. These people are participating in what we call IPO, or the initial property offering, where people can buy nights in bulk. So a user can buy a membership NFT. This membership NFT it brings like a certain amount of nights, like for example 15 nights per membership NFT, and then those owners can either redeem those nights or they can resell those nights. So it also not just brings like real world value, but also there's some speculation side, because of course there's the traveling market. The prices go up and down, like for hotels, airplanes, etc. So we can bring that market of speculation to the users instead of just being like a black box where only the companies do it. Second, we have like the normal users, which they can just, instead of go to Airbnb or Expedia or even Travala, which is just Expedia with a front end which processes crypto projects, crypto payments. Users can just go into nights.co, which is live right now, it works. We have already tokenized one property. They can select what property they like, they can buy nights at that property, and then they can select the dates where they want to visit this property, or they can even resell them. They can just use it for speculation. So our target, well, our model is simple. We target areas where there's like a lot of digital nomads, but also like recurrent travelers. We tokenize one NFT one night, and these are released into a marketplace or airdrop to member wallets. So we can generate real cash flow. This is not just pure speculation, like charge a fee for bringing third-party properties. We can have a secondary income of our marketplace. We can also lease and make some difference from that lease, and then we can also build a real estate portfolio, leveraging the cash flow that the sales of the nights. So the platform is really easy to use. If you're in crypto, if not, anyway, it's pretty simple onboarding too. Like I said, you can go to nights.co right now and you can start checking it out. You can link your wallet, search for properties, and pay. The difference between the fractionalized ownership and this, we don't have to do KYC, so people could buy weeks, months at a property. They never own the property, they just own the experience of staying one night. The memberships also include incentivized benefits for the members, so they can buy the bulk price. So, for example, in our first property, they allow you to access surfboards for free. We are also ready to tokenize a second property in Tulum that will allow you to use some electric bikes too. So like I said at the beginning, Airbnb versus nights. Airbnb owner waits for guests to select the dates and book. Owner has no control over when the next payment will come. Owner income is subject to seasonality and dynamic market conditions. Nights, owner can sell 3 years and bring all that cash flow to the present. Owner only waits for the visitors to choose the dates. Owner income is predictable and readily available from the start. Expedia versus nights. Expedia, traveler chooses the hotel and dates and has to lock in the price in that moment and lock in the dates. The price is locked until the reservation is made, and price spikes happen when the reservation is made close to the date. In nights, the traveler can pre-purchase nights and secure the price. So if you like to come to Dubai, if you like to go to Tulum, to Bali or whatever, you can buy weeks, months in advance and just burn them, use them whenever you want. The traveler only has to choose dates when property is available. First come, first serve, just like Expedia or Airbnb works. And the IPO, promotional prices and membership system encourages purchases. Like I said, we already tokenized our first property. This is in Mexico, in the Pacific coast, next to Ixtapa. We sold around $60,000 of nights, and that's exactly the cost of the property that we tokenized. So, like I said, the most interesting model here is to sell nights and use that money, that cash flow, to own the properties. So nights is not only a marketplace, reservation system, and launchpad for properties, but also is like a real estate fund. We also have already a lot of traction. We have 3,000 on Twitter. We have already like 70 to 100 NFT holders, and we also have a Telegram. We're looking to raise some capital at around 2 million valuation. We're looking for around $200,000, mainly for marketing costs, legal structuring fees, continue developing the platform and making the experience better, and maybe even acquire some property up front. So we have like a more secure way to approach this. But even though, like I told you, we have a lot of properties already in the lineup of third parties that are ready to tokenize. So our future is to keep launching airdrops of different nights to the holders of the memberships, keep growing the collection of properties, expand beyond Latin America, and bring exclusive benefits to the members. The team is myself and my CTO from Argentina, and we're pretty small, but like I said, you should check it out. If you go to Mexico, you can use this to stay there, to go surf, and we hope we can keep expanding in the next months. Thank you.
So one more time, good afternoon, everyone. I believe a big part of you knows strategy games such as Civilization, No Game, or Heroes of Might and Magic. Despite they were released a long time ago, there are still a lot of enthusiasts playing the game and having great fun. Now, imagine that you are playing some tournament with big prizes, and after playing good game, you finally reach first place and win big reward. Do you feel that emotions inside you going through your body? And now, what if we could combine both? Fun of playing the game, engagement, with real big rewards. So here we are, Web3 MMO strategy game Skynity. So basically, Skynity is located in the skies, where thousands of players fighting each other at once for a rare resource called Skydust. There are 4 factions: water, earth, fire, and air. You are starting at the edge of the map in your motherland and going towards center, where you can find most precious mines and portals. Since there are limited space and plenty of opponents, you need to make strategic decision to be the best and win. In Skynity, there is a main resource called Skydust, but there are also other resources, like raw Skydust or spell points, which can be utilized for various actions. You can easily exchange resources in game. Skydust, called SDT, can be harvested in mines, but need to be transported to remote portals with using of miners, which are weak and therefore need to be protected by your armies at all costs. Keep in mind that the biggest mines are located in the center of the map. But there are also other ways to gather Skydust, such as leaderboards, for example, predators based on number of killed units, or constructor leaderboards. In your motherland, you can find
functional buildings such as core, summoning rift, wall, portal, mine, and the mage's tower. By upgrading the core, you can unlock stronger units. In summoning rift, you can recruit your army. Upgrading the rift will shorten the production time. The wall is your main defense structure with bonuses to defense. Portal is used to export sky dust outside the game into the blockchain. In Mage's Tower, you can unlock different spells. In World of Skynity, you can find also plenty of barbarian lands, which can be very similar to your motherland, with even same structures and buildings inside. You can conquer them, upgrade, and manage same like your motherland. This is important to focus on skydust mines, which can be divided into small, medium, and large mines, which you can find respectively towards center of the map. The portal is crucial for to keep your skydust safe by exporting it outside the game into the blockchain. Golden mines located on the map are raw skydust mines. If you are feeling lucky, you can open the chest located randomly on the map and winning even big reward of skydust. Sometimes you need to risk it all and conquer other big armies to defend your skydust or steal opponent's skydust. This is essential to check the chances of winning, which you can do, for example, by using the spy spell. So in World of Skynity, there are various units, such as weak miners with big capacity, warriors, mages, or cavalry with high speed. Since our game is ready to play, we invite you to join the battle and win what's yours. So now you are asking, why Skynity? Because first of all, the game is ready to play. We finished closed beta with very good results and starting open beta soon. We are heading towards game release, improving our game, which will be Q2 or Q3 in this year. Secondly, we are not only promising that our game have deflationary ecosystem. This is deflationary ecosystem by default. Between each epoch in the game, part of the token will be burned, and in fact, at the end of the tournament, we will have less token in the pool than at the beginning. So decreasing amount of the token and players' engagement will result in high token value. And lastly, we got very good feedback after our closed beta. Some of the players even spent more than 10 hours per day on our game and told that the strategy was most attractive aspect of the game, not the graphics, not the combat. They were even gathering into some small cells, some small diplomacy alliances, and making another steps and gathering on social media, social communicators, and fighting each other. And there are a lot of emotions. And they said that the game is very addictive. So if you have some questions for me, I thank you for listening, and you can catch me on the meeting, or you can raise a hand. Now I will explain and show you the game, which is ready, and you can test it. So thank you.
Hello. My name is Almir. I'm a DeFi enthusiast. I'm coming from South Korea, Seoul. So welcome everyone. So let me first ask you, like, how many of you trade on Uniswap or any other DEX? Raise your hand. Okay, so I give you some alpha. If you trade in DeFi, after seeing this presentation, you only will be trading on our platform. So we started a year ago, and we decided to build the most efficient decentralized exchange aggregator. So currently we process about 25 to 30% of all DEX trading volume on Manta Pacific. We have a big traction on chains like Blast, Scroll, Linea, and of course Ethereum as well. So this year our trading volumes were growing 10 times per month. And the reason is because we have a superior exchange rates. So we incubated by the Korean exchange wallet called Bitsum, Bitsum is the second largest exchange in South Korea. So they have like a Korean MetaMask wallet. It's called Burrito. So we process all the swaps inside Burrito wallet. And we have over 30 partnerships with different DEXs, such as Curve, Uniswap, Tena, OKX, Izumi, Zebra, and many others. So this is why WowMax is superior. Basically, we compete with like very, very professional teams, such as Odos, if you know, such as 1inch, Paraswap, Kyberswap. So our market is very competitive, but you can check it out. Our rates are excellent. The way we do it is basically with a single swap, we arbitrage the whole DEX market. We bring the whole DEX market into equilibrium. For example, here, a user wants to buy Orbit token, right, with USDB on Blast. So instead of just buying it directly, we arbitrage all other tokens on all available DEXs to make the rate the best. This is how our routing looks like on Manta, where we process a few $1 million every day. So with a single swap, we make about up to 30 different token transfers. Check this QR code. You can go directly on our website and just see all this performance. This is our trading volumes. Actually, we like at the beginning of the year, we were struggling and exchanging like $10,000, $15,000 per day. And then during the March, our volumes went like 10 times. We're changing like 100, 200, 500,000 dollars. And recently we're up to like 10, 15 million dollars per day. So within a few next months, we plan to be top 5 DEX aggregator in the world, exchanging 100, 200 million dollars per day. So this is our performance. We are super fast. Our infrastructure is based in Germany and Hong Kong. So our response is one of the fastest in the industry. We're backed by Waterdrip Capital, which is a Shanghai-based top-tier VC. We recently got investment from a NASDAQ-listed company that focuses on quantitative trading. Got some investments from a Swiss-based VC, Investment Solutions, and some investment from a Goldman Sachs director for equity sales and trading. So this is me. Hit me up. Ask me any questions. Or if you build something, just use our API, and you get the best rates in DeFi. Thank you.
Hello, guys. I'm Bhavesh. We are based out of Dubai. I am the CEO co-founder. I would like to introduce you guys with Zone Token. Zone Token is one token with multiple utilities. I'm sure you guys might be wondering that what is Zone? Zone is a digital token with global reach, powering multiple utilities with one token. When I say this, what I mean is we have our own 3 dApps, our own ecosystem. So one token will be powering all the 3 dApps of our ecosystem. It would be as good as a blockchain coin. It's similar to that, but we are a dApp, and it's an ecosystem token for that. So the best and the uniqueness of this token is that it has a direct transaction, no intermediary. It's a decentralized control, no central authority. Fractional divisibility is possible. Utility packed, cross-chain, integrated ecosystem, and deflationary model. That's the USP of our token. This is our ecosystem. We have our NFT marketplace, mainnet from last 20 months. It has clocked in 100,000 transactions on blockchain. We have 10,000 plus active users on that. And we have crossed 3 million trade volume as of now. Zebra Swap is a crypto exchange, which is mainnet right now on beta version. And Roro Wallet is a DeFi wallet. So Zone Token will be powered for all these 3 ecosystem dApps of our own. With 10 million tokenomics, this is how the allocation is. 55% is towards the community. 12% is towards the treasury. And you can see how the tokenomics is revolving out here. We started with our private round and we have been oversubscribed. We are entering into pre-sale right now. So would request you all to visit zonetoken.io to have more details about the token as well as our dApps and what we are doing. And please support us on the pre-sale to begin with. Thank you.
All right, guys. Hi, I'm Hernan. I'm the founder and CEO of Soundwork, and we're trying to rethink how the music industry supply chain is working. So this is very interesting and very close to my heart. So I hope you are interested as I am. I'm a musician, and I'm also a computer engineer and entrepreneur. So what are we trying to solve here with Soundwork? Basically, the music industry supply chain is really not working for everyone, right? Hasn't been a way to properly track how the music is being made, which are the building blocks, what parts are making the vocals, the bass. So the building blocks of the music is not really being tracked and rewarded for the creators. And I think this is what we're trying to change, as well as the players in the music industry have become very centralized and become the gatekeepers of the whole process of reward. So what we're doing at Soundwork is we are reimagining the music industry supply chain through Web3 and AI, and we're trying to build a more transparent and equitable process for all the creators, musicians, and producers alike. So the way that we do it is the following, okay? We are building a new NFT standard, which is called the Sound NFT standard. And with it, what we can do is we can leverage AI to track how music is being not only streamed, but also built. Like, for example, how many of you here, if I could get a rise of hands, know the app called Shazam? You've heard. So everyone has used it, right? What Shazam does is it tracks the waveform and it identifies the digital footprint of that waveform, pairs it up with a huge database and tells you, hey, this is a track you're listening to, right? But that Shazam's like a decade old, right? Now with AI, we can actually go through the sound and understand, okay, I detected a sound that the vocal's coming from this pack. And oh, I detected that the beat is actually from this pack, and this is the creator that made this, that minted this loop and this drum beat, and that way we can reward them through smart contracts. And that's how we are planning on rewarding all the creators along the process. And basically that's, oh, what happened? Sorry. Great. So what's the effect, right? So what's the scenario? So what happens is that until now, let's look at Team. He produces a nice sound pack, or he sells it to a label for a couple of $100, and then that's it. But what happens if, David Guetta or Skrillex uses his sounds for his new $10, $12 million hit single? He won't get a single dime, right? And if he would have minted his pack through Soundwork, now he will be getting rewards as long as that track is being played by the people. So that's the effect we're trying to change within Soundwork. How do we do it? It's very simple. Well, not very simple, but it's easy to explain. We have a new NFT standard, which is called the Sound NFT Standard, or SNFT, which is an NFT tailored for music elements. So sounds, samples, packs, instruments, and tools like effects or digital synthesizers. Those are all being minted with the SNFT standard. Then we're building a Soundwork marketplace on top of that NFT standard, so people can trade, buy, sell, and lease those music NFTs. And then what we're doing is we're opening an API for developers on top of that marketplace, so that, for example, game developers can tap into that API, and through AI queries, they can tell, okay, so just give me some music for my AI generated, sorry, just a minute. I want to record this and this fell down. Fuck. Could you please? Thank you. Okay, yeah, so where were we? We're opening the marketplace through an API where game developers or app developers can just query for, I want high energy electronic music for my game. Give me 50 levels automatically generated. And that would generate music leveraging the marketplace in real time for all type of music needs. For podcasts, for background music. And the way that we build a business is, of course, through marketplace fees. So every transaction will carry on a fee on the marketplace. Then we'll open premium subscriptions that allow users and music producers to access exclusive sounds and features. And once the musicians themselves start using Soundwork as their distribution platform, we can actually tap into the streaming revenue and start actually rewarding the creators with streaming revenue. And I guess the question that you're probably asking now is, okay, we've heard of some music Web3 plays, and what makes Soundwork truly unique? And I think we are a very unique spot here because I guess everyone has heard of these players around here, Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube. I'm a pretty self-explanatory. They're focused on streaming, right? And I guess some of you, if you're in the crypto space, have heard of these companies, Royal Audios, which are also focusing on music NFTs, right? But they are focused on the final track, the final product. Now, who here has heard of these companies? Splice, Lander, FL Studio? Anyone? No. Okay, so why haven't you heard of him if these companies are not small at all? Splice is at Series D, raised hundreds of millions. So it's a big market, but they're not touching Web3 and NFTs for some reason. And that places us in a very unique spot where we are focused on the musicians and the music production part, but we're also a decentralized platform. And no, we're not centralized. So that's what makes us unique in this space. Our team is super pro, and we have a lot of experience in the music tech space. I'm running the product and also the company. We have a very experienced CTO, and Edwin here, our partner, is the owner of Function Loops. Now, Function Loops is one of the top 5 labels of sounds and samples in the world. So they got over 300,000 sounds being used by some of the top producers in the world. You might recognize here Mr. Arvin Van Buren. And all these world-class musicians are leveraging Function Loops for their songs. So we got over 20,000 monthly active users that are logging into the platform and getting sounds for their music. So we're leveraging that musician community to build the community at Soundwork. So I am here at the conference. This is my email. I'll be happy to talk to you more. Of course, this is a simplified deck for ETHDubai, but we got a ton of more info to let you in on how the sound token plays into the ecosystem and how we are actually allowing for AI to not only recognize where the music is being tracked, but the model that we're building so that we can intelligently provide you with music for any style that your game or your app or your music platform or your podcast needs. So I'll be happy to talk with you after the talk, and thank you for having me. Thanks for ETHDubai. See you soon.
Hello, can you hear me? So before we start off, how many of you has ChatGPT 4.0 paid version? Have we ever used the data analyst? Okay. Now, the way AI is moving, if you can understand that whatever learning we have done for the last 15 years can be done by one person. A simple, smart guy, good analytical mind can play whatever you have done for the last 15 years. So I'll just give you my brief background. So I used to work in consulting for IT for the last 15, 20 years. And the knowledge I have gathered, if I poke ChatGPT properly, it will give you the right answers. The way I would do a roadmap or a consulting roadmap, it will give it in maybe 1 minute. So the way AI is changing is nothing like the way we have seen. Second, how many have you kind of seen a crypto-specific AI? Have you bought any coins like that? Have you used a kind of platform for that? Crypto-specific AI? Have you ever used ChainGPT? No. See, the way AI has been made, it has been made for the millennials, like the new guys, the crypto guys who are young, who wants everything to be done very fast. That's the way Gen AI has been built right now, okay? So we feel that Gen AI will be used by the crypto millennials at scale, and that's where a lot of business opportunity lies, and that's where we come from. So what we say is, there are 4 things coming into play. One is Gen AI, on top of Web3, and there's something called prompt to earn. Have you heard of that prompt to earn? Like play to earn, have you heard play to earn? So I play and I earn, but is there a way that I make a prompt and somebody can earn from that? That's where data monetization will come into play, okay? That's we are seeing right now. The other thing people talk about, lot of kind of private data monetization. Have you kind of thought about, would you ever give your private data? I won't give. But the LinkedIn post I do, or I do maybe a report on a particular area, probably I would give it because that's an insight, and that is somebody can use it. So data monetization will come in terms of my insight or knowledge, not my private data. So what we say is, Bayer, our company plans to bring all these 4 together. We bring Web3 with Gen AI, with prompt to earn and data monetization, which we call Wave 4, and that's where the change is coming. We call this as Wave 4. Now, the young guys we have out here, the crypto millennials, they don't have time. So they play a game, they go to school or college, they hang out with a girlfriend. They really don't have time to do a lot of things in terms of doing a report or doing something. They want everything to be done very fast. They also want to earn money. So the software we have to build for this new millennial for AI has to be fast, quick, and it would like to make them lazy. Basically, they don't have time. So how do you make them lazy but intelligent? That's the goal of the Gen AI tools which is coming right now. So that's what we are talking, that we will help you to save your time. You can do whatever you want, play a game, have fun. You have a platform which is easy, not complex, very fun to use, and also earn money out of it. And we have actually built the first platform on Polygon, and it's running right now. So you guys can go and play around and see what's there. This is what I told. So for the crypto millennials, there has to be a platform which is easy to use, very fast, makes them money, and they can kind of have their own lazy time doing their own things. So what do we have in terms of the functions out here? Now, if you go to ChatGPT or you go to Bing or anywhere, if you do a query for crypto, the data is not correct and data is not right. So there is no custom LLM which works for crypto. So we have made a custom LLM which gives you right answers for crypto-specific questions or queries. So that's the first thing we started building up. Okay, we have done it. So the green thing means it is done. You can actually see it how it is working on Polygon. Second is, nobody has done. See, ChatGPT or Llama or whatever LLM you talk about, they will give you text data. What do I do with text data? Text data is just not fun to read, no. Can I make a report about a company which is visual, which is kind of a tabular, a dashboard kind of thing? So what we have done is, these young guys, if they want to invest in a company, they can have the prompts already built in, and they can build their own prompts to create a report which can be done within a minute. So normally our analysts would have made this report in maybe 2 days. The same report Gen AI can build with real-time data within a minute or so. So this is where the new kind of Gen AI use cases will come in, reporting and visualization of data which is in text. We have done this already. People are using it. We don't have a lot of users, 150 users, because that's a closed beta, but we have got feedback, we improve upon it. The third very important thing, see, gamers or young guys, they would like to create NFTs. They create NFTs, they create characters. That's fine, but what do you do with it? You create an NFT, and until you use the NFT for something, there's no point. So their end goal is to kind of create a game out of the NFT. That is the end goal. But till that point of time, when you cannot create a game with Gen AI, at least you can create comic books. So what we can do is that you can create a comic book, you can create your NFTs, you can create your storyline, and make a comic book for everybody to read and see, and you can sell it also as NFT. So the final thing is that people are calling decentralized AI, everybody is saying, is it a scam or is it real? I say it's real because this custom LLM works on the data given by the community. That's decentralized data which is coming in. So we have prompt to one, which is one part of the data monetization, but the other part is how community can give data for the AI to learn and give better results. So that's decentralized AI, which we're building right now, release 2. Release 1, we have already done. And finally, our goal is to kind of, like Alchemy gives you Web3 applications, we plan to give these applications as a SDK to build your own Web3 Gen AI on any chain. You can use any kind of Gen AI platform, you can use your own chain and build your own application. That's the end goal. We have not done it. That's the third release we plan to do. We are raising funds. Public sale is more or less finalized. Private sale is almost very near to the closure. We have around 150K allocation left. If you are interested, please tell me. Who are the partners? Gamify, pools. We have the IDEO partners. We have the technology partners and all those. And we will be kind of moving to the release 2 after maybe May or June timeframe, where we will have the private data coming as kind of custom LLM. It's live on Polygon testnet. You can go create a user, make a query, create a game story, create comics, and all those things is open to everybody right now. You have to be on Polygon testnet with Mumbai with some Polygon test tokens. So you have the website, you have the Telegram. Just call us up and let us know. Any more feedback, please let me know. We can improve upon this. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. My name's Chris, and I'm representing Entry Point. So what's Entry Point? Entry Point is a marketplace for established index providers to meet and synchronize with retail and institutional investors. Traditional finance has exemplified that ETFs are a product that has achieved product market fit. Currently, AUM stands to around 20 trillion US dollars right now, and that's about a fifth of world's GDP. It's also growing at a rate of 20% annually, so there's a lot more room to grow in this space. Traditional finance, however, gets this slightly wrong. First of all, settlement times are significantly slow. There's also a lack of composability and a lot of opacity in terms of the terms and conditions, particularly cost structures and other important information associated with the commercials. Now, DeFi has come into this space already, and there are a number of protocols that have tried to index a lot of these crypto assets already. But these haven't taken off in the same way other centralized ETF products have done so. And this is probably because they were quite early on in the space within crypto ETFs, but also it's probably because retail is designing products for retail. Now, Entry Point is stepping into this gap in the market and solving the problem in a different way. First of all, as I mentioned, established index providers are coming on board this marketplace and designing these strategies. Secondly, it won't just be crypto native assets, there'll be RWAs on board as well. So you can think about an all-weather portfolio comprising of multiple crypto assets from different ecosystems, commingling alongside RWAs like fixed income, commodities, volatility instruments as well. Where are we right now? Well, Entry Point is live on testnet. We've also undergone some regulatory analysis to determine where we sit in terms of interacting with local regulators, and it's quite conclusive that Entry Point falls under 2 regulatory categories within the EU. We've also identified several jurisdictions where we could operate from within a sandbox program. So it's not a regulatory black box. We've kind of solved this problem and we just need to execute. Third, and finally, we've also onboarded some very high-profile index providers from traditional finance, and these are very well-known names that you would be able to identify their ETF products, both in real-world assets, but also in crypto as well. So the group is not so large, I'm sure people will know. The team behind this project is Simply Staking, which is a company based in Malta, 40 plus, comprised of engineers, product specialists, and risk analysts. We've been OGs in this space since around 2016, and we support over 70 networks or so. So we really know how to build critical infrastructure. Finally, we're looking to raise $5 million US at a valuation of 35 million, and this will allow us to propel and launch on mainnet and also undergo our regulatory journey. So with that, thank you very much. If you would like to contact us, please take a picture of the contact page. Thank you very much.
Hello. So this may be a little bit different from the rest, but I'd love to present to you guys Dual Tech. What we're doing is we're building live-streamed, degenerative, visceral PvP duels that unite Web3 communities together. You can go and check out our website that just went live last week. So a bit about the background and the lore of what we're doing here. So RuneScape, unless you guys know, is one of the largest MMOs in history. It's one of the most beloved games in the Web3 space. It's pretty much the original metaverse. And as a result, there's a lot of communities and meme coins launching around this. And in the last couple of weeks, there was a $4 million rug that took place on Coinbase. And as a result, there was a community takeover, which I ran by accident and decided to see if there was a way to build a way out of it. So the mission became to unite the biggest key aligned opinion leaders, the most redacted NFT communities and meme coin tokens, and bring them on top of the BE token. So what that means is that, again, we're going to live stream PvP duels and have all of these communities come together, play old school games, and compete with each other to see really who can put their money where the mouth is. You know, and once live stream duels go live, viewers can also take bets and interact in a highly social environment. So how does it work? Similar to a boxing match, you know, sponsors organize a duel. They pick 2 fighters or more, and then they bring them online. They can brand the match, and then they launch the match live. Once the match goes live, there's a stream of matches. Bettors can come in. They can place a bet in one of their matches. They can choose one of the fighters and put a bet on them. Once the broadcasters goes live, everybody joins a lobby. They can now talk with each other and interact with the match. And as the match is playing out, they are able to see all of this within the Web3 app. Once the event ends, the broadcaster, which is a multi-sig wallet, finally submits the result, and fighters or bettors get paid out. So, you know, what's the roadmap? Well, smart contracts, I sped run them over a weekend, and we completed them 2 weeks ago. The website is now live, and we're building the DApp end-to-end, you know, and we're making really good progress. Our goal is to launch in time for the on-chain summer event on Base, and we're now inviting people to join our business development Telegram group. So let me tell you a little bit more about the team. We have 6 engineers and 1 business development guy. We have over 100 years of engineering experience, over 60 years in the video game industry. Myself alone, I've shipped over 50 games, and our products have been played by millions of people and generated billions of dollars in revenue. The website is now live. I welcome you guys to come and check it out. And if you are interested, drop me a telegram and we'll get you in touch with our BD guy. We're trying to build networks with everybody on base. This is a community-led project. I'm not raising money, and we're just getting the word out there. So thank you, guys.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rand. I'm a cryptonomic researcher from Quantus Protocol and Kitabik Lab. So Quantus Protocol is building the first perpetually appreciating asset, achieving annual growth rate of 18 to 30%. It is fully backed by collateral and redeemable at any time. The collateral is stablecoins, Bitcoin and Ethereum. What went to the development of what can be the best performing asset was 2 years of extensive research by contributors like Kitabik Lab, which is a cryptonomic research and token engineering lab. Other contributors are Crypto Econ, which is a center of economics, who have been contributing to verifying Quantus protocol mechanisms. And we spent around 2 years of extensive cryptonomic research to design, verify Quantus protocol architecture and mechanisms. So what is the problem that Quantus is solving? This is something I would say obvious, because no asset class has performed sustainably, only increasing in price at 18 to 30%. But if we outline the problems, it's of course asset deappreciation, because no asset can only go up in price. The other problem is the lack of sustainable yield. So no financial instrument can provide this yield in a sustainable way, an ethical, scalable way. As mentioned, when we observe asset classes historically, no asset performed at the same rate and continued the same performance. So what are the key facts about how Quantus works, and where is the yield coming from, and how it is sustainable? Well, first of all, the yield is not coming from previous buyers. This makes it ethical and fair. It is also non-dilutable, because the yield is not coming from token emission and inflation. It is decentralized and censorship resistant. The collateral is fully on-chain and non-custodian. It's also sustainable because users can redeem at any time, regardless of the state of the market. It will be built on top of Ethereum, and one of the layer 2s that we'll be able to disclose about later. It will be accessible to crypto users, which I believe most of you here are familiar or have wallets, and also to traditional investors who don't know how to use decentralized applications or have a wallet, or even access to centralized exchanges. And it is fully Sharia compliant. All the mechanisms of the protocol are aligned with Islamic principles. One note is the protocol uses a dual token system. QTS is the protocol native token that is used for governance, and it serves the protocol with key functions, and it has a deterministic value based on its utility and use, which is around 1/3 of Q1T market cap. The other value is based on speculation, which is a normal thing in any asset class. So who's the team? We have around 6 core contributors and other contributors that have been building with Quintus throughout the 2 years. I am the researcher and inventor. We have most of our team as our researchers and developers. We have also advisors who have been contributing to Quintus from a different perspective, specifically from an architecture and technical aspects. So the background, as mentioned, we did the research and I published the research. It's not an academic research, it's just a proof of work about what went through the invention of Quintus, and we've registered as a provisional patent and now undergoing a global patent. So here's about one of our contributors, which is CryptoEcon, which is a Swiss-based cryptonomic company that works with different protocols to validate their systems before launch. And few of their projects are synthetics and Bumper. So the market, obviously, anyone who is looking to invest in credit market and bonds can benefit from Quintus. And this set the time to be 52. So we'll be launching in Q4 this year, and our team are working on building the community and establishing the social presence. And now we are raising at $36 million valuation. We're raising $3.6 million through SAFE and tokens. The team is multinational. I am based in Saudi Arabia, and we are incorporated in Singapore, but our team comes from different locations. Thank you. If anyone wants to connect with us, feel free to email me through my email, or I'll be here in the venue. If anyone have any question, you can reach out. Thank you.
Good evening, ETHDubai. My name is Iqbal Singh, and I have around 20 years of experience in IT and system development, and I am a CTO and co-founder of DataSafe Sign. Basically, this product is about providing a secure and competitive signing system. So it is blockchain-based security and sign, and very simple design, and sign is very easy, and it is built for decision makers, so they can easily manage their document and sign contract. And we have tailor-made package for individuals and businesses. As I said that its design and usability is very simple. We take care of the age group of decision makers, especially like in banking or in lending, in private lending or other contractor. So this is a brief interface for the DataSafe Sign. As per market analysis, the document signing market, it will be like grow tremendously, like about $14 billion, like by 2028. And it's growing very fast. As you know that everything is going digital, everything is like on cloud, on digital platform. nothing is on paper, like mostly by 2028 or 2030. And this is the market share. Like currently, DocuSign is like holding major share in this market, and there are other platforms like AdobeSign and Jing, and we are trying to make our place here. So the target sector: energy, banking, notary justices, financial services. Like right now, we have introduced this platform in financial services in private lending. Around 16 companies are like participating in beta, and we have tested it with like around 6,000 contracts. Market by country, you can here see that North America is has a major portion of it, and then Europe and Asia Pacific, Middle East. So I think it is a need of every region. So here is again the sector that we can target under this software. So like our major USP is like blockchain. The blockchain is helping us to provide a cyber security to all the smart contracts. The verification of contracts are done through our own data safe blockchain. Like once, like we are saving the history of document signing, like first party sign and second party sign, and then we submit the hash of document to this blockchain, and we can verify it like at any stage, and it is totally decentralized. So it's the blockchain actually saving cost of cybersecurity for us here. So we are like counting on it. It is the benefit of blockchain. As you know that blockchain is powered, Bitcoin is powered by the blockchain. So there are like $400 billion which is running on the blockchain. So definitely blockchain will help with this platform also. Proposal, actually our software is ready already in the beta, and we are looking funds for the marketing, go to market, and we are like about to fly. So it is just the matter of scaling this software. So we are asking for 1.2 million at 10% equity and convertible notes, on the convertible notes. And this product is basically Australian based. It is registered in Australia. So our managing director, Carrie Reagan, he is from Australia, and I am from India. And almost like 50 plus developers are backed this product. And we have our in-house team, and we just need funds for go-to-market. Thank you.
So basically, the team just pitched before me something similar to our product. But let's talk, because we have many integrations. We are also talking with ETHSign and HyperSign, because what we are doing is a whole product for the RWA industry, for any Web2 user. So let me start from the beginning. So IDSign is a decentralized signature protocol. Like this is good. There is a microphone.
Okay, this.
In the world where data is gold, who actually holds the keys to your privacy, right? So right now, everyone that is doing any token gating or putting information on the blockchain, everything is public, because actually blockchain is a stage and everything is transparent and verifiable.
But how do we solve the issue of something being private and shareable between multiple wallets and at the same time verifiable when needed? So, and plus there is a lot of vulnerabilities in centralized systems. So DocuSign, they store everything on their private servers, private data, centralized, and if it doesn't get hacked, it might get intentionally leaked. So this is a problem that a lot of big companies, governments face, that their document itself is not safe. So what we built before building the e-signature protocol is actually the ZK sharing module. And this is, we are working with the Partisia blockchain, because Partisia is a MPC blockchain using TSS. It can generate multiple parts of the key and allows you to have full control of your encryption keys, verifiable by an MPC network. So no one, not even us as ETHDubai, will ever have access to the document shared because of this module that we'll do, and this module will actually be open source. So ZK Share or ZK DKMS, Decentralized Key Management System, which will solve all those problems. And ETHDubai is going to be a SaaS built on top of our protocols that are audited, that will give you a proof of signature and proof of humanity, which is the KYC token. And it actually is very easy to use. We have levels for it. So if you verify your email and SMS, you get level 1 KYC. If you verify your signups, Anima, WorldCoin, even upload a passport, you will get level 2. If you upload your work, your proof of residence, and if you do AML checks, this is a dynamic on-chain NFT, which is soul-bound to your wallet. And the cool thing how we will onboard people is we will just log in people with Google, and if I can open actually I can show you how easy it is. If I can open Safari app.id sign. What we want to focus on is actually bring all the lawyers, all the government people, and we are using account abstraction to pay for the gas fees on behalf of them using SaaS models. And you can just click Connect Wallet like everyone is used to. You have your MetaMask Wallet Connect. If you are a company that is using multi-sig, you can use Safe, but if you're someone, you can just use Google and you will get a wallet. So now I will not show it because this is not my laptop, but you can try it out. So yeah, so DocuSign is a very big market, but we don't plan to only target this market. We target on doing escrow, decentralized escrow, KYC. So, but the first version will be PDFs. And the subscription plan, it's a very big market. And those all our competitors, but we actually reached out to everyone, and we will integrate everyone in ETHDubai because it will be the front-facing SaaS for everyone to quickly use without knowing anything about Web3. So we have our alpha now. We are also doing a private sale right now. If anyone is interested, please go to ETHDubai.com. We have the white paper, ETHDubai.com, and you can connect with us there. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Can you hear me? Yep. So I know it's been a long day, but I'd love to get back to a simple topic, a topic everybody would understand and love, which is DeFi. And this is what we've been building for the past 2 years. We built a stable unit. So in a nutshell, since we don't have enough time to go into the details, we built an LP and LST-backed stablecoin with the focus on LPs. It's a yield-bearing stablecoin. And why we did that? We noticed the rapid growth of LSTs, LRTs, and there is a market for yield-bearing tokens. And they're taking a big chunk of the market compared to ETH. They're growing exponentially. Stablecoins should follow the same path. With credit cards, as soon as credit cards that had cashbacks appeared, you cannot see yourself having a credit card that doesn't have cashbacks. So what we did is a stablecoin that provides you yield from multiple revenue sources directly into your wallet without choosing rebasing. So how does it work? So it's a CDP stablecoin. So it's over-collateralized by LP tokens from the yield optimizers such as Convex, Aura, Tokamak, and others. You can come in with those positions, borrow the stablecoin, leverage with it, and the stablecoin will provide you yield from 3 main revenue sources. The first one is those LSTs, LRTs, and LPs. Second one is the borrowing fees, and then we have a unique liquidation system that provides yield as well to the stablecoin holders. So, yeah, compared to the competition, what we have is unique because if you look at other yield-bearing tokens that use rebasing, you always need a wrapped version. In the case of stable unit, you don't need to overcomplicate it. You have one token, it provides you yield, it comes from those different revenue sources, and yeah, this is unique in the market. We don't rely on one revenue source. So for the go-to-market, there's 2 ways to go to market for a stablecoin like that. First, there's the LP part. We need to go towards yield optimizers, and that's what we did, yield optimizers and DEXs. And we have partners lined up for launch that have cumulatively over 5 billion TVL. For the retail side, which would be the secondary buyers of the stablecoin, we already worked with multiple ecosystems. This is provable track record. And we're planning to launch with a large L2 that will be disclosed in further discussion. So if you guys want to learn more, feel free to reach out. Our investors for the pre-seed, it was led by Fundamental Labs, which is an Asian VC that is quite popular. We also have participation from NGC, MEXC, which is the white box here. We have also XT Ventures and angels from the leadership of many DeFi protocols. So where are we now? So it's been 2 years of development. The core protocol is ready. We're doing gas optimization right now and going towards audits ahead of launch. We're conducting our seed round currently. We actually started it last week. So if you guys are interested in learning more, feel free to reach out again. And for the team, we have the founder who has a tech background in DeFi. He was the second employee of 1inch. It's Alex. We have CTO who worked for the 2 largest Eastern European banks. For me, I did my master's thesis in DApps marketing, and I worked in the stable unit for over 2 years, since the beginning, actually. Sorry. And we have very qualified advisors from different parts of DeFi. So BitTensor, which is this one here. We have also KuCoin Ventures here. So yeah, I try to keep it simple. The core thing I would say is, if you remember in 2022, there was this popular DeFi strategy about STETH looping. People were leveraging a lot through STE to get leverage yield. We allow you to do the same, but with LP, so you can just imagine how much the yield is, and we allow you to leverage yield farm on LPs. Thank you very much. I will be around, so feel free to ask for contacts, and I would love to meet you guys. Thank you.
Hey everyone. So my name is Matt, and I'm here with you today from Alterproof.
the co-founder of the project, yeah, it would be great to tell you a little bit more. Alterproof is an alternative digital ID solution, but unlike some of the pitches we've heard here today, hopefully they're not actually competitive, but to some extent complementary. Alterproof is a verified data history-based digital ID solution. And maybe I'll start with kind of like the problem and why it is that we even decided to approach this topic. So for a long time, I worked for a layer 1 ecosystem. And as part of that work, we've worked with a lot of institutions, governments, and kind of big regulator organizations. And the kind of topic that came up all over again is data availability and kind of comprehensive citizen data verification, both in the context of private and public data and kind of service delivery. And this is mainly because there's multiple fragmented systems that capture citizens' data, and they don't talk to each other. Whether we talk about education or employment data, credit history, these are all siloed databases. And whenever they need one another to verify something about the user or the citizen, they have to kind of come and ask each time for that data. When that's not possible, oftentimes the service can be, subpar or not even delivered. That's also true when, someone might be moving countries and might want to get credit in a new country they just moved to. And unfortunately, you can't bring your data with you like that. So you kind of can face those issues. And that's why we started thinking of identification in the kind of Web 2 normal world in a bit of a different context, in the context of building your verified data history, putting it all together, and using this as your form of identification. And that's ultimately what Alterproof provides. It's an alternative form of digital identity and a verification provider, ultimately, that's built around that kind of user's personal database, and that allows them to unlock services they previously didn't have access to. This is especially important, in developing countries, and this is the kind of part of the world that we're coming from and that we worked with most in the ecosystem that I used to work at, African countries and the developing economies, where that kind of issue persists. Not everyone even has a form of formal identification, and they can actually only rely on the kind of data that they have from interactions with different institutions. So from an individual's perspective, what Alterproof is ultimately a place where people can go, provide their personal data history, so where I studied, where I went to school, where I worked at, and upon verification of that data by the institution, they receive an on-chain proof of validity. And that way, people can verify their data once and reuse it whenever necessary, rather than having go and re-ask for kind of the verification of an institution when, let's say, they go back to an employer and they're going through employment checks, so that they don't have to kind of ask again and again. They can just show their verification to say that this has already been verified. This might be important in situations where, let's say, I don't know, my university stopped existing, and I can no longer just call them up and ask them, hey, can you let these guys know that I studied here? These situations are kind of where this comes into play. It also is a great place to collect data moving forward. So whether it's a kind of proof of interaction or proof of attendance, whether that's events or kind of aid institutions like UNICEF, they oftentimes provide aid and want to make sure that they don't provide aid to someone twice. And if someone doesn't have an ID to prove who they are, it's very hard to do so if we don't have a verifiable way to check their history of interactions with a specific organization. From an enterprise perspective, this gives us a unique position to start interacting with our database and almost kind of an SDK-like experience where we can have a sign-in with Alterproof. And those organizations can access users' data similar to kind of how sign-in with Google works, where the user can give permission to certain Google data. Here, the user can give permissions to their Alterproof database, and they kind of remain the custodians of the data itself, with the on-chain proofs being kind of publicly available. If KYC data is part of the user's profile, the enterprise can also access that KYC data of a user straight away on login, rather than having to run their own KYC processes, and we charge much less than a normal KYC provider would for running the KYC process from scratch. So rather than, again, having to do your KYC process with each single institution on Binance or somewhere, you can just do it once, and then if you are returning users to the different places and those enterprises do incorporate sign-in with Alterproof, you can reuse your KYC verification already. Like I touched upon in the beginning, the market potential obviously can be thought of, globally, and there's a lot of places where that can be useful. But we've kind of started thinking of the African market as the first touch, and that is also because of how the team is built. I will talk about my co-founder in a second as well as part of the team. He's from Nigeria, has built startups before, part of YC Combinator and whatnot, and he has a kind of big network there that we managed to leverage. And it's a kind of great place to show the value of that product. Like I mentioned, millions of people there don't have formal identification, but a lot of them do have smartphones that we can leverage and to kind of make sure that they have access to public services or private services, and that we can make better by building their verified data history profile. And just to kind of compare ourselves maybe to some of the other, KYC, proof of personhood type solutions, I like to think of Alterproof as ultimately a layer on top of that provides more so a verification layer rather than that kind of KYC layer, because we can digest all of that data, whether it's coming from Stripe Identity or WorldCoin ID or IDOS and all of these kind of things. We can digest that data and actually feed our data back into those solutions. So IDOS, for example, aggregates users' data that are verified from different sources. You can also import your Alterproof verified data into your other digital identity solutions. The app allows you to kind of log in. It's all account abstraction, so obviously a person somewhere in Uganda, Tanzania might not be familiar with the Web3 world, so it's all kind of sign in with Google, a wallet created on the back end. All the verifications are soul bound to the wallet, but there's kind of no need for the person to ever interact with that wallet per se, other than through the app. They can upload their data. They remain the custodians of their data themselves. Once a verification is getting issued by the institutions, they get an on-chain proof of validity that is displayable in the app, as well as in their kind of public version of their profile. So there is a kind of page that is dedicated to each user that is publicly available, where you can view all of their on-chain verifications. And if you want to request more data on the user, whether that is the school's name or the exact data period that they went to that school, you can access that by requesting it. You get a one-time password from the user, and you can then type it in and actually reveal more data. But the user ultimately decides if he wants to share that data with you as that particular institution. Now, moving on to adoption, we actually have some exciting stuff happening that has already kind of been thanks to our existing network. We're working with some universities on delivering the kind of on-chain versions of their diplomas. So all the graduating cohorts receive an on-chain kind of proof that they have graduated that then can be reused in different places. We are working with a phone manufacturer in South Africa that will be distributed end of Q3, and Alterproof will actually come pre-installed on the smartphone. We're expecting, the company is expecting to sell around 200,000 units by the end of the year, and hopefully kind of, increasing traction of the Alterproof solution. And thanks to some of our connections as a team and some of the early relationships we managed to build, we're now part of some kind of government pilot programs as well. So we're in conversation with the government of Tanzania, their innovation team, the Ugandan Ministry of Health, and the South African Ministry of Education and their innovation team. And that's kind of where the University of Western Cape conversation came about. Here, we're looking to kind of digitalize the education proofs. So again, whatever school level you are at and wherever you've graduated from, whether it's a certificate, a professional certificate, high school, ultimately you would all receive an Alterproof on-chain proof of that education. In terms of the Ugandan Ministry of Health, it's more revolving around building your health profile and health ID. These are all kind of pilot stage products, but nevertheless, these kind of other opportunities that I've mentioned before here are already live use cases. The MVP does exist. You can kind of go and check it out, set up a profile. The demo is available in kind of an open beta, and these projects are currently run in a kind of a closed beta program. As for the team, we have myself, kind of extensive Web3 kind of ecosystem level experience, my co-founder Adebola, who have previously co-founded us a YC-backed startup in the African markets around lending. We have a very skilled kind of partnerships and communications manager as well, Maria, who has worked with government policies and research, and a few advisors that are kind of not mentioned here, but the team is a bit more expansive than the 4 people here. We are currently raising our pre-seed round, so it would be very interesting to talk to anybody that might be interested. We have secured some grants from, again, kind of on the more Web3 side. but whoever might be interested in kind of an equity investment, let me know. I'll be around today, tomorrow, until end of day. Or you can also reach out to me at Matt at Alterproof. Feel free to connect with me on the platform as well. It would be great to chat, and thank you very much.
Hey everyone, so my name is Lucas. I'm head of business development at Mimic Finance. So Mimic Finance is a startup that was founded in 2021 that initially started as an asset management tool for friends and family. We developed into 3 different iterations and currently are DeFi automation tools that helps protocols to manage their assets. And to date, we've processed $3.5 billion in funds for our customers. So what we're trying to resolve is interacting with DeFi can be cumbersome, especially on a protocol-to-protocol level, and we're planning to change it. So operating in DeFi is becoming as promising as more complex. So especially on an app-to-app level, it could be very difficult because DeFi is an ever-changing space where new protocols emerge, existing protocols update their smart contracts. Some of them offer APIs, some of them don't. So both users and applications have to interact with most of them on a very isolated way, which can lead to a lot of security breaches, and it's not efficient. So our vision is to be the go-to platform for easy and secure DeFi interactions, offering a set of tools to create custom financial solutions. So what we mean by that is we want to build a DeFi interaction layer by using or by building intent-based infrastructure. Together with our existing automation tool, we're going to be able to build a layer that any protocol will be able to interact with the whole of the DeFi. So by a single integration, single API, or a single SDK, anyone will be able to perform any DeFi operations, and they will also be able to program those operations. So they're going to be able to do high-frequency trades, they're going to be able to do very complex interactions through a single API or a very easy user interface to perform them. So what it allows, it minimizes any smart contract risks because protocols will not have to connect with other protocols individually. It offers a single API, and it offers the high efficiency of the tasks performed through Mimic. So some figures to date. So as I mentioned, we're already operating protocol. We have had the volume to date. That's actually a wrong number. It should be 3.6. Sorry. We've processed 3.6 billion to date with a 1.4 million revenue, and we are cash positive. We've processed 5.3 million transactions and had 100% of client retention. And you can see we've been working with some of the industry leaders, providing them the DeFi automation tooling. So we're a team of 13 at the moment with 10 engineers, and our founders are some DeFi OG engineers with experience in protocols like Aave, Balancer, OpenZeppelin, Aragon, The Graph, and POAP. We have raised a pre-seed round in 2022 from friends and family, and we're currently looking to raise a seed round to help us to excel and build the infrastructure to interact with DeFi. So if you would like to talk more about this and learn more about how we plan to do it, feel free to reach out. Thank you.
Such a flashy presentation. Just made it today, actually. And today I want to talk about the project I'm bootstrapping. I'm a solo founder. It's called Payflow, and it's all about embeddable on-chain social payments. So why embeddable on-chain social payments now? I think it's all because the social layer goes live. And what I mean that with each day, we have more information on-chain about the users. And we, as a consumer app developers, can leverage that. And one of those examples could be emergence of Web3 socials. Anyone heard about Farcaster, Lens? Okay, cool. So Farcaster, Lens, ENS, those are all are the Web3 social layers, identities. And then even Telegram, if you been looking at the Pavel Durov presentation a few days back, even Telegram is going on-chain. So even that can be used for the as a social layer. And I'm quite sure that that Twitter, Meta, and other will have to catch up. And on a graph, you can see the growth of the users on Farcaster, and this is the platform I'm mostly currently integrating. So who is it for? I think that with more social layer available, more apps would find use cases to integrate that layer as a one integration piece. And I think this will result into more users, more payments. And one of the problem that I see is that every app in one way or another will have to integrate some payment solutions. And this results in the payments fragmentation where you have many apps, many chains, tokens, many wallets to manage, and so on. And I think it would be cool if there was one payment ecosystem which could be used across different apps, united by one social layer. And obviously there could be different social layers, like people can use Farcaster, Lens, or it could be even Telegram usernames. And the solution is simple embeddable payments and mini apps. So today, Farcaster is pioneering with frame mini apps. If anyone heard, then there's an option to create cast actions. You can come up with the boats. Even Telegram has introduced a mini app store. And there's a very cool wallet app inside which people use. And then eventually you can have in-app integrated payments, and as well as just simple checkout when they just go to another page. And I would like just to quickly demo some things. Unfortunately, I couldn't connect my phone, so we're just going to go a harder way. Okay. Okay, so this is a Farcaster, and let me log in the app. Sorry for that. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So there's a lot of things to demonstrate, but a very simple use case is that, let's say I go to my home feed, and then I have some user, right? And I created a custom payment action I can just submit. I can just go to the app. Oh yeah, actually it pulled already. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that takes a bit longer. And I just need to enter some code. Yep. And I can just pay. It's all signless, and the users have already smart wallets created for them. And once you do that, you can notify the user about the payment which was completed. And then obviously the user has some history of the payments, as well as you have some contacts integrated based on your social layer. So like if you follow someone or you have any other criteria, it could be like if you integrate Telegram, let's say it could be like either usernames from the contact book or anything. So yeah, I think that's for the presentation. If you want to contact me, there's an email. You can find me on Twitter, Farcaster, and here's a link to the app, and the invite code is ETHDubai. Thanks.
Good evening, everyone. So I think my presentation would be probably the second last or the last. And I can promise you it's going to be very different from what you've been seeing, you know, since morning. As the name suggests, messenger. So we hope to challenge the likes of WhatsApp Messenger. We hope to challenge the likes of Google RCS Messenger, which are with our product offering. So the industry that I'm talking about is worldwide worth about $20 billion today. And it's growing at a CAGR of about 22%. So in 5 years, we are looking at an industry size of about 40 billion. Now, there's a problem. The infrastructure for this industry has been built by the telcos. But the monetization is being done using that infrastructure by the OTT players like WhatsApp and Google. So let's turn the clock back about 25 years. We used to send text messages to each other. Now, great, but then it was plain text message. Turn the clock back today, how many text messages do we send to our friends or family? It's all about WhatsApp or Telegram or FB. Why? The problem with text message is that it lacks richness. It lacks two-way communication. And that's what this product solves. So you've got an industry which is huge in market size, and the telcos are not able to monetize it. What if we can offer a solution to the telcos where they could add richness and interactivity to their offering? That's what this particular product solves. Now, how do you do that? How do you make a plain text SMS rich? Well, if you find a way, what is it that WhatsApp has today? It has about 2.5 to 3 billion downloads and apps, right? Now, if we can find number of apps which are more than WhatsApp apps, then does that solve the problem? I guess it does, isn't it? Because the messages on WhatsApp is traveling on IP. Now, do we know what is the number of total downloads of telecom operator apps across the world? It's close to about 7 billion. Because anybody who has a smartphone from a telecom operator has downloaded their app. Now, if we are able to enable the telecom operator's app with richness, I guess it solves the problem. Because then the telecom operators also can add 30 to 40% premium to their plain old SMS and monetize it. Now, the other challenge is interactivity. With plain SMS, you cannot be, I'm talking about business messaging. You cannot interact. You know, there are enterprises who are willing to spend millions of dollars if we can open up an interactive channel where they can interact with their customers. The middle layer will have to be controlled by the telcos. The telcos will always be there. Without them, you cannot, But then the OTTs have found a way to bypass the telcos. And you talk to any telco today, and the main problem they say is that the investment has gone from their side, but the monetization is happening from the other side. It's the OTT players who are able to monetize it much better than the traditional telcos. So this product which I'm talking about stands on 3 pillars. It's AI, it's blockchain, and it's metaverse. When a message comes in, if you can add an AI layer, and if you can add blockchain, which gives you security and stability, and if you can enable metaverse for the enterprises to their end customers, I think we are covering all the bases. So the product itself is now, we are 95% ready. So far it's been self-funded, and with some fund from friends and family. And if any investors is willing to, looking to invest or have a discussion, I'm here today and tomorrow, and we can take it up accordingly. Thank you.
Okay. Hey, my name is Max, and I'm a co-founder of Yona Network. This is the fastest ZK rollup on Bitcoin, powered by Solana Virtual Machine, and using EigenLayer as a economical security layer. So what's the problem? What's the opportunity in current Bitcoin ecosystem? So over 1 trillion Bitcoin, in dollars, is frozen on Bitcoin network, and there is no way to use it. So you cannot trade it in DeFi, real Bitcoin, not bridged one. And so the transaction speed is low, and the UX experience is really bad for ordinals and BRC20. And we have a solution for that. So we propose a layer 2, a modular layer 2, which is the fastest L2 rollup on Bitcoin. And we use Solana as our execution layer, which makes it possible to reach up to 10,000 TPS. And we are protected by a combination of Bitcoin and Ethereum security, powered by EigenLayer. So basically, we use Solana as an execution layer. We do settlement on Bitcoin. We do proving on Eigen IVS using ZK, and we use EigenDA as our data availability layer. So it's very modular, and each module has a very particular role. There are 3 most important use cases. Well, I'd say the most important one is obviously native Bitcoin. So you can use your Bitcoin as a collateral. You can generate yield on your Bitcoin without sending it to some centralized exchange, which is custodial, and this creates problems. And basically all the DeFi instruments become available for Bitcoin, and all of that on Solana Virtual Machine, which is very fast, and you can build order books there and all kinds of sophisticated apps that you cannot build on EVM chains. Also, ordinals and BRC20 can be traded again in real apps in very kind of wide and thriving Solana ecosystem apps. So we have a lot of builders from Solana. And yeah, so Solana itself has its momentum, like with meme coins, with all kinds of things, and all of that will come to our network too. Yeah, so market size is insane. Yeah, Bitcoin, ordinals, Solana, so the opportunity is tremendous in our opinion, and this is the right time to launch. So we see incredible growth in Bitcoin ecosystem, and like there are a lot of products that are targeted on Bitcoin and its TVL, and so we are here, we are creating an infrastructural layer on top of which other things can be created, and Bitcoin will be utilized. Yeah, so as for tech stack, as I mentioned, yeah, Solana and Solana Virtual Machine, EigenLayer AVS, and EigenDA with BitVM. So once BitVM becomes a thing, currently it's like a work in progress by Bitcoin community. So once it becomes a thing, we'll definitely be among the first to implement it too. But so far we are using EigenLayer security to kind of compensate the absence of working BitVM. So yeah, this is our architecture. So yeah, probably I kind of said already enough about it. I won't go deep into it. Well, as for competition, so Bitcoin ecosystem is very hot these days. So there are several side chains, pretty old ones like Stacks and Rootstock, but they are not like trustless. So their security is not the same as security of Bitcoin itself. Yeah, that's why we don't think they are kind of competitors. There is a number of Bitcoin rollups, especially like all of them are EVM rollups. And as I mentioned before, Solana VM has an obvious advantage in terms of speed, in terms of low cost of transaction. And yeah, so our solution is fully trustless, as our bridge is also built on as Eigen AVS. Yeah, so as for our roadmaps, there will be 2 test nets. So the first one, so we want to launch as soon as possible. This will happen next month, and we already start building our community, kind of building incentive programs for attract builders, and yeah, so basically start being active on marketing side. Simultaneously, we'll keep working on our tech side. So we'll yeah, make things more decentralized, more trustless. So we'll implement ZK validation layer on EigenLayer AVS. So we'll kind of implement Espresso decentralized sequencers to again improve trustlessness. And yeah, and after that we'll launch our mainnet. So we'll run liquidity incentive programs similar to like what Blast does and some other chains do. Yeah, so a lot of incentives for builders and everyone, and after that we'll launch our token. So our go-to-market strategy essentially consists of like 3 directions. It's like attracting builders, attracting users, and then attracting liquidity. So we have answers for all of them. So essentially we'll have like point system for users, like deployment incentives for builders, and also liquidity mining program for liquidity. Yeah, so we have like a detailed plan for that launch. Yeah, so we have a seasoned team that used to launch other pro products before, so we know how to build things, how to promote them, and how to build the companies around the products. Yeah, so our pre-seed round is now open, 1.5 million at a valuation of 20. Yeah, so that's more or less it. Thank you everyone for attention. So let's make Bitcoin a better place where we can interact, transact, and earn more yield from our Bitcoins. Yeah, thank you.
So we're just a name, and our mission is to make Web3 simpler. And we're going to start with that, with usernames. The main problem in Web3, in our view, has been UX frictions. There are many problems, but for mass market consumers, it's mostly about, it's too complicated to deal with seed phrases and wallet addresses. There are many frictions. It's really difficult to develop products on chain. And we've seen that the adoption is really not good when it comes to non-technical users. We are mostly nerds and geeks in this industry so far. Where we're working is we're building an identity layer on top of ENS, which allows us to replace your 0x23D and so on address with a human name. And this really allows us to, for any brand, to issue an unlimited amount of usernames for their users at virtually no cost. The way we do that is that instead of using L2 solutions, we use CCIP read from Chainlink and do off-chain resolutions. This allows us to sell the idea that free is much better than cheap, especially for the day where you have massive amounts of users. Say if you had millions of users, you do not want them to deal with gas fees or to have to deal with their gas fees through paymaster features or whatever. You want to issue them the usernames and then have them only use server cost, which is basically nothing. Our solution is on two sides. For brands, we have an admin portal that enables brands to issue, manage, and revoke usernames for their user base in a normal SaaS-like experience. For the user, it's just much easier to use with that. How it works, I went through that. So we were using CCIP reads and Ethereum naming services. And we can see, so if you want to see the data, usernames in ENS have been booming in 2022, but then there's a lot of friction for mass markets. Basically, only people having experience using an L1 will get an ENS name, pay $100 in gas fees, and start using it. But since Coinbase has been using off-chain resolution for their Coinbase wallet, that number doubled in just a few months. The other company that does it is Uniswap. They've released the .uni.eth names for their users. Within 4 days, they had 100,000 signups. And we're about 2 months from the time they did that. Now there is, I think, 500,000 users. Uniswap used that in a much more interesting way than Coinbase just has if you want, an explorer where you can see people's ID and their metadata in their profiles. But Uniswap has been using it in a way like a CRM. So they issued a bunch of usernames for their user to claim for free, and then they use these usernames as right to have access to their wallet extension in advance in beta product. Then to reward their users for testing the product early, they issued them 20 USDC for each .uni.eth names that had the wallet extension. So the way we're going is that we think there is a much better way to reach and engage users on chain without having them to deal with all the complexities of having a username that replaces the very complex wallet address, and to basically engage with them and finally maybe try to have some retention in the industry, which I don't think anyone has retention other than Coinbase and Uniswap so far. In terms of market validation, I think it's been booming with Uniswap, and there is a lot of demand to do that. The thing is that it's very complicated to do what Uniswap and Coinbase did. You need to have a massive engineering team to be able to allocate on that specific problem. What we do is to offer that as a SaaS for anyone to use. So any small brand in Web3, non-Web3 that wants to access and engage with an on-chain audience will be able to do that just using our software platform. Size of the market, well, compared to the number of Ethereum addresses, almost no one is using Web3 names through ENS. I think we have about 3%, 2 to 3% only of addresses that have a name attached to it. How we're different? Our solution is probably the most scalable because it's off-chain and you can scale to infinity. Or a few competitors are more going towards the L2 solution. There is one competitor that does about the same approach as we do, but it really lacks a lot of features. It's not good. In terms of business model, I think there is a pretty organic flywheel here that plays. So for brands that use this type of tools, there's a much better UX for their user base, and you can also do much more personalized engagement. This increases both in activations and retentions, and in both cases, happy user base become promoters, which drives more demands for names, and at the same time, a brand that is successful has a growing user base, which also drives more demand for names, which is good for us. But technically, this is a field where you really have a lock-in effect, as in, when you start using a naming system, it's extremely difficult to move away from that. Business model, we're starting with just a normal SaaS revenue model with a free tier, freemium approach, which is limited to only 20 subnames. The idea is that you want a community for your WhatsApp group, your Telegram group, you can do it for free. And then start scaling up the price. In terms of enterprise, we're offering more customized access for brands to be able to build, for example, token-gated access for their users. Medium term, I think use cases when you want to deploy names for your users are very different depending on the brand persona that you are. If you're an NFT community, it's very different than if you're a protocol or a dApp or a DAO. So what we're going to do is to extend the freemium model by building specialized plugins and dApps for each one of these personas. Long term, there is one caveat with our solution, is that we use centralized databases. But our idea is to actually decentralize the data network using nodes to secure data validation and give permission based on utilization of interoperable user-owned data by external applications built on our protocol. So we're going to turn our backend into a protocol decentralizing the data availability for across the network. Benefits for that are stronger security. It's especially about stronger security, but also this transparency. And this is going to make things more scalable long term. Our team is mostly technical. We have half of our team is engineering, the rest is ops. Initially, we are an innovation studio, and we focused on that problem maybe 5 months ago. Our team is pretty experienced in Web3. Radi, the CTO, has built a few dApps before already, and I co-founded an NFT minting platform before. For me, I'm former Axiom Zen founding team member. Axiom Zen is the company behind Dapper Labs, which is the co-author of NFT, non-fungible token, when they released CryptoKitties, which later became Dapper Labs with the Flow blockchain. Maybe you heard about NBA Top Shots, Disney Pinnacle, and a bunch of other products. Our advisors, we have Fabiano, which is a former co-founder of mine. We got Collection acquired by Animoca Brands just a few months ago. Fabiano was one of the co-authors of ERC 721 when they released CryptoKitties, and which coined the term NFT. Mikael Nayem is a co-founder and the president of Dapper Labs still, as well. As for Pierre Nayem, he's director and advisor, used to be director and advisor at XBTO, which is probably one of the very first market makers in crypto. They started in 2015. For terms, we're not raising funds quite yet. We're still in pre-seed. And that was just practice for us. If you want more information, please reach out to us on my way out. Thank you.
Hi everyone. I hope you are not sleeping. I'm building AdMill. This is the social marketplace that supports incentivized creation to purchase value chain. So what we do, there's 106 billion people like Jamie, who is like sitting at home, cooking, and spending a time with their children, and they test different products for large brands, create new recipes, generate new culinary data, but they don't earn money. Basically, usually they sit at home and don't generate any revenue. So, but these people actually generate a lot of values because they kind of provide consumer insights, because they kind of test different products, and also they act as influencers because of they communicate a lot with different parents, yes, and also share with them their products they use and so on, and also they kind of really good audience that we can get data for targeted marketing. So, but the current social graph is broken because all money flows from brands to mostly to media platforms, but not to these home cooks who's like generating a lot of values and data. So what we do, we built new social graph where all these CPG brands can interact with home cooks and food bloggers directly, and these people can generate new revenue. This is not just like values, we're creating impact, and we already won Social Impact Award from Cello, and we also kind of verified startup on donation platform called Giveus. So how it works, brands, they list their products on our platform, and then home cooks, they can create new use case or maybe recipe for their product, and influencers can promote it and start getting revenue from promotion of this recipe. With this recipe and use case, the digital collectibles will be issued, and all other home cooks, foodies can collect it, trade it, and generate the liquidity for these brands. So the core features, yes, they will have, these co-creators can have co-publishing rights, so that they can, all this revenue will be split among all these holders of NFTs, and also part of the commission will be donated to the public good funds. So there's like several revenue streams, like transactions, commission from transactions, sales of NFT collectibles, are also kind of promotion tools for brands. We already have community. There's like we have 16K for waiting list, and we tested our product MVP with 2K beta users, and we have bunch of really those people who are interested in our product from France, from Portugal, and from over the world. This is our team. Myself, I worked in Venture Studio, and I launched several businesses, startups also, and right now working on this idea to bring new ideas to the creator economy. And I inspired, there's a lot of people to join as a contributors, and they love our vision, our idea, and contributing to bring this idea to the life. So basically that's all. If you're interested, you can scan our product. Thank you.
Currently, there is a rising demand for high-risk and high-return investments, especially options. In classical stock markets, it's seen all over the place, and in crypto, we identified there's 16 million people that could, and the market could grow up to 170 million people. And these people, or these investors, they have $1,000 to $50,000 to invest into these high-risk and high-return investments. And the options are really a great instrument if you compare it with other things, but they pose quite a lot of problems. First of all, they are very hard to grasp for beginners. So there is a lot of variables to understand, a lot of formulas, and you can buy them mostly on the centralized platforms. Puts can lead you to bankruptcy. They can destroy you totally, and premiums are very high on crypto markets, and that doesn't really make sense for crypto. Our solution and our vision is that we can make it much simpler and easier. So we devised a platform with a type of option that's very easy to grasp, and where the risk is known upfront. It's usually up to 100%, and customers can set their own premiums, and the whole platform is, of course, on-chain, thus 100% transparent. So again, our business model is a trading platform where people all around the world can open the positions for free, so there's a lot of liquidity. We take a fee from the winning side, and customer acquisition is done by social media and other types of marketing, and big market makers are usually approached by direct sales. We are also looking forward to set a DAO and a governance token to support this whole initiative. Our competitors in crypto space are yet not existent really. So we mostly compete as a new product with the traditional established derivatives, and they are offered in DeFi, for example, in Hedgehog, Panoptic, DIDX, or traditional exchanges such as Binance, Kraken, and so on. Our team is composed of seasoned startup veterans. We have cumulatively, together with our advisors, over 50 years of experience in shipping successful startups. I think that's pretty cool. Also, the core of our team, especially the tech part, that's me and Mark, we are in the crypto space since 2014. And we have we basically encompass all domains that are needed to launch a successful project. Engineering, banking, there's a lot of experience from sales and marketing from our advisors, and we also have a lot of experience in leading people and leading teams, so we can hire the top talent quite easily. The core met in Prague, and it's very centric and affordable location. Also, it doesn't hurt that that's a place where the first mining pool originated, as well as the first hardware wallet, which is pretty cool, I think, again. So, to sum it up, there's a huge opportunity for success in a growing market. There is 16 million people that would be interested in this type of assets, and we are here to deliver it for them, make a lot of money, and also have a lot of fun. So, thank you. The project is Joule, and these are my contacts. I'm looking forward to talk to you in more detail, perhaps, about derivatives and the project in general. Thanks.